Hello, crisis actors, and welcome to episode 606. I know you guys are shocked because Brett's still gone. No one knows where he is. We're going to have an awesome episode today. You know, with Brett and Mary out here, I've gotten kind of carried away, and I found a couple of guys here that aren't normally on the show. They were just down by the Home Depot holding up signs. So I think it's going to be okay. I hope so. Just bear with me. But today's going to be an awesome day because we're going to talk about the Met Gala, which very, very beautiful people wore some very beautiful clothing. And we're going to talk about all that. I think the worm from Dune made an appearance. We're also going to talk about an update with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. It's actually starting to escalate and kind of getting weird now. So we'll talk about that one. There's a new dating app. It's going to give Bumble and Tinder a run for its money. I don't want to give too much away, but you guys are going to be shocked just with how tempting it is to sign up for this. We've actually, I'm already signed up myself. So the last story, if time permits, we're going to talk about a little bit about Disney and what they're doing to rectify the mistakes of the past, I don't know, year and a half. So we'll get into all of that. Please remember that if you guys send a $20 super chat, I'm going to interrupt everyone sitting here. I'm going to read it right away. Please smash the like button. Hit share. Send it to your grandma. Send it to your grandpa. Send it to the person watching your dog. Get the show everywhere you can. And enjoy. Now, sitting to my left, returning for today, is Serge. How you doing?
Hello, I am here, and yeah, it's not just getting weird. Like, it's been weird. This whole Drake and Kendrick thing.
It's getting crazy though.
Yeah, I could have anticipated that.
I think I'll have you kind of recap briefly, not right now, but when we get to that story, I think I'll have you recap kind of what's going on, and then we'll add the new stuff that's coming out. Sitting across from me in the sacred chair that is Mary's is Andrew. How you doing?
I am doing well. I'm here for the beef. Beef's always good.
Nice.
And then first time, right?
First
to my
time.
right is Chris. How you doing?
What's up?
And you said you have a nickname or a name that people call you.
So another employee at Timcast, Kara, she gave me the nickname. It's Hi Bye,
Okay.
because I'm in and out all the time.
There we go.
So,
Literally only says hi and bye.
that's it.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. It's easy. All right, so then let's get into it. So before we get into all like the meat and potatoes, we've got a few stories here. The first is for my nerds out there. This really made me happy to see. If you guys haven't heard of the streamer on YouTube, Ryan Hall, well, he's done something pretty incredible. And we'll pull this one up. So 121,000 people were watching Ryan Hall stream about tornadoes yesterday. Not the tornadoes. It's disaster. You know, it's people's lives are being ruined, which is really sad and dark.
Yeah.
But the fact that 120K are watching a YouTuber talk about weather, I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, I mean, there's been the past, I don't know, week or two, there's been just like crazy tornado outbreaks in the Midwest. They call it Tornado Alley, not Valley. I almost said Valley. They call it Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was one yesterday that was so incredible on radar that actually, I don't think this image is, but it created an eye just like that you'd see in a hurricane. So these are massive tornadoes. It's kind of unprecedented, the tornado season we're having. But still, I think that's insane that you have 120K watching a weather YouTuber.
I mean, like, it's always interesting, man. Those weather YouTubes, I almost exclusively watch them when they're like live. Like, I'll choose them over anything else because it's just like, I mean, there was one the other day, or last week, I think. Brian was watching it in the downstairs, and like, it was that live shot of the dude like pulling up to the people's house that just got hit, and like his daughter's like screaming and crying, and like it's just kind of like one of those weird things. Because if it was a recording, it'd be one thing, but it just kind of hit different because it was live.
Like
so
the
it's
storm
like,
chasers.
Yeah, but I also kind of think it's
Like Twisters.
yeah, like all the people who like, I don't know, it's a different kind of internet drama for the people to sate their appetite.
It reminds me of like, you know, like maybe 15 years ago when TVs, like really good TVs started getting cheap. So everyone now has a big flat screen in their house.
4K, 50,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like now that's happening with
don't.
cameras.
I don't, never have.
You don't even have a TV, I don't think.
No.
He doesn't,
Well,
but
he's South African.
he just uses mine.
And Amish.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But I think that's happening with like recording equipment now. And because you're seeing, like, there was one video that I saw of, I think, the similar outbreak where it looked like CGI. It looked like it was straight up out of a movie with the guy filming the tornado, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. It's fascinating. But Ryan Hall is cool because a lot of those shows you'll see on, like, Discovery, I don't even know if that's a network that's still around anymore, where they talk about the storm chasers.
Yeah, it is.
It's all footage that they have to scrub, and it's from storms that are...
It's very produced.
It's post.
Now, this is all happening. It's raw. It's live.
It's not live. Yeah.
This
is
live.
but the Discovery stuff, that's all heavily
Ryan
produced.
Hall specifically, what's cool is he'll get like 4 other people that are also live. So he's got himself talking about the weather and explaining what's happening, and then you've got like 4 different feeds of live like storm chasers. And so it's not just like talking about the weather. It's kind of an experience in a way, you know. It's kind of it's one of those things. If you're not watching live, you don't really care if you watch.
Well, they're
it
also
all.
what I'm reading here. They're also raising money.
Yeah,
They're raising
lots of money.
They're raising a ton of money. So they raised $30,000 in donations for victims in like 10 minutes, according to this.
How much? 30,000.
$30K in donations for victims in 10 minutes, according to Boosted Media.
And it's fascinating too because it shows that you don't need all the bells and whistles either. Like there was one thing he was saying. He's like, guys, the weather like radar app I use is $9 a month. He's like, those meteorologists at the big networks, they've got like a $2,000 setup going. He's like, this is $9.
Some of that software is even free that the tornado chasers use. Like I have it on one of my laptops for fun, but like it's really cool to see. Like once you learn how the software works, it's cool to see how it's like. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Or
doesn't this speak to the broader expanse of online media being kind of taken over for where cable left off? So I mean, I don't even know anybody that has
like
cable
you just can't
anymore.
beat this real-time coverage of whatever it is. There's a couple of YouTubers that are following like the foreign wars overseas, and it's just like that's not as real-time in terms of footage, but the updates are. I mean, you're not waiting for the nightly news and the report anymore. You know?
Even the other day when you were browsing through those live streams in your office and you came across that one that had like 10 people live, and it was just some chick with her phone like mogging people outside the Scientology building.
Oh,
in LA.
yeah.
Like anyone can. It's just like the smartphone, really. Like especially the sensors on those Apple phones these days. Like. They're really good. Like,
well, anybody can be a journalist now.
You could shoot.
The barrier to entry is super low. That's when you lower the barrier to entry to anything like that, the value is going to plummet.
It's like
there is no quality level keeping. It's like no level of quality assurance.
It's almost like the next evolution in like the printing press, because the printing press it didn't necessarily like there were a bunch of scribes and like you had to be rich or educated or like a noble to like learn to read and write, but like once the printing press came around and like books were being printed en masse, then everyone got into reading, and it's the same thing's starting to happen with like sort of the age of information that we're in.
It's called democratization of a product.
I mean, did you ever think that print media would be like growing up? Did you ever think print media would be dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, you're younger than I am, but
I grew up with like Kindles and ebooks.
Same.
You guys are a little bit younger than I am, but I'm saying like but in the mid '90s,
I was reading magazines and stuff like that. I remember buying magazines and liking to read magazines like Thrasher and Trans World Skateboarding and stuff like that. Decline is a really big mountain bike magazine. The magazine was literally very big sized.
Yeah.
It's weird to have seen those things like kind of go by the wayside. But that's like what the platforms have done. The platforms have.
Every time.
That
I've been on
scared
the show
the crap
so many
out of
times. It scares me every time.
Should I just wait for it?
Wait a second.
This is the crisis part.
Yeah, so let me address that. So for this 3-day guest hosting that I'm doing, we're actually going to let the parties just go on. So we're at 4 now, but that includes yesterday's. So just a little note: we haven't gotten a true crisis party today.
Let's go.
But I want to be able to brag to Brent and Margie when they get back about what we were able to accomplish.
Brent and Margie.
Yeah. So
Bryce and Marty.
Bryce and Marty. There you go. So he did a fundraiser, and that's awesome and everything. He earning raising a bunch of money for people who have really, like, when it comes to tornadoes, you lose everything.
Well, and this type of media absolutely enables this stuff. I mean, you're not going to see that on the 5 o'clock news.
No.
You know, so
and I think
nothing would ever happen that
Well,
way.
you might, but it'll be at 5 o'clock.
But this
This you can see when it's
And
happening.
then followed by
real
a
time.
story of a kitten trapped in a tree that was rescued.
Yeah.
but remember, they're
check this guy
beholden
out.
to advertisers. So like
Yeah,
they
right.
need that kitten story to appease the advertisers,
Exactly.
the
They
main
want to
networks.
keep viewers. Supposed to be
Ryan
turning off
Hall,
the blackmailing.
dude, he's not. I mean, he's got some sponsors, but he's not like they're not saying he can't show footage because it's too destructive, or it's too, it's just like, oh, that's a little
There's
bit too
no
scary.
overlord. There's
Right.
no overlord.
Right, and it's safe. It's
Yeah.
like non-controversial. It's true people. Like it's showing what really can happen. It's not like there's you can't stop these storms. It's not like there's an evil general or a dictator out
I think
there.
Greta can stop the storm.
Greta, maybe her.
Greta could. If anybody could,
If we just give Greta
could.
like $200 billion,
Wonder
then
what she's
Greta will
up
stop
to.
the storms.
Wonder when
Who
she'll get
cares?
invited to the
Getting
Met
hauled
Gala.
off to jail
I
somewhere.
actually don't.
again.
I don't wonder what she's up to because she's just a random 17-year-old girl from who cares?
Isn't she
where.
like 20 something now?
Who cares?
She's
I don't
like
care.
18.
I literally don't care.
Is she?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't care. Anyways,
How dare you?
yeah, you're right though. You can't do anything about it, and that's this. It's stuff like this that they're gonna say like, oh, because there are more tragedies happening. It's like, okay. Well, are there more? Like, look it up statistically. Are there really more? Not really.
Well,
It happened like every 3 or 4
No,
years.
it's because it's in
not
your
really
face. Like
speeding up.
everything's now.
Right.
Whereas,
Exactly.
like
The
we were saying
information
before,
right.
you had to wait till 5 o'clock.
Right.
Well,
You know,
information's
even
right,
if you
yeah,
waited
yeah.
till 5 o'clock, the FCC still has their regulations and guidelines around what you can and can't say on the air. So even
Right.
if like,
Right. And they didn't show it. Like they might talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
this just in, breaking news, they would talk about it, but they're not necessarily going to show what we're seeing now.
But, like,
so this is in your face now.
you or I don't have
Yeah,
that
true.
oversight, but we have phones. So like, if we see a tornado pop down in like near Martinsburg or something, we just go out there and start filming.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So
I'm not.
Oh, I totally am.
There's footage last night of
Yeah, I'm not.
I think they were from Sweden. It was the first time they were in the U.S. and they're at a hotel and they
Nice.
step outside. They start filming, and I mean, they always roast the camera guy. This guy was on point, but he's like he doesn't realize what's about to happen. He's like filming. He sees wind whipping around.
God he had that
then all of a
camera
sudden,
out.
like everything's just all that wind, all that chaos has now made its way into the building, and they're like freaking out and everything. And so it's like people really like you can't just stick your head in the sand and pretend this shit doesn't happen. You know?
Yeah.
It's a crazy world. The fact that we've able to as humans be able to thrive in a world that produces tornadoes and hurricanes is incredible, and it's fascinating to learn about. But it does happen, and you can't ignore that it happens,
Is it really-
especially the pain and suffering. Like
Is it really like that they're thriving when they have like their lives get effectively a hard reset every spring? Like
yeah, pretty much.
It's not
understand it,
like
man.
I don't understand why one
they say the same thing about people who live in the desert, though.
But
Yeah,
why
but
aren't they building like down
basements
to the ground?
or, like-
why aren't they?
They
Why aren't
do.
they do they really? Do they
They
build
do. They
like why do
teach
they have
you-
houses
but
that are built above the ground
attached
and made of
basements
wood?
aren't that common.
They teach you
in
though
the Midwest.
if you're in a tornado, at least out here on the East Coast, if there's a tornado warning, you get into
Yeah, in your
an
basement, of course.
interior room if you don't have a
But
basement,
what I'm
or the
saying is-
basement, or they used to call them storm cellars.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying
And
is,
everybody
why
had
don't,
one.
Right.
Why don't we
Yeah.
adjust and change the culture of
Yeah, we're
building
still
stuff in the
building like
country?
it's the 50s
Right, we
when
should be
it's
building
like
with wood.
I
We don't,
think
we, don't
it's
need
a
to, we don't need to
separate-
build the economy. It is a kind of a separate thing.
I
What
think
I'm saying
that's-
is like we're just
What about the
we see
50s?
these tragedies that are avoidable because of from lack of forethought.
But I mean, I think yes, you're right.
I'm
but
just saying
at the
what I
same
think
time,
it
like
is.
the
I don't
storms
know.
that we've been seeing this season, I don't even think. I think it's sucking everything out from even if you're in the basement. They say get into a bathtub in the
Well, that's
basement with
what
a
happens,
mattress
yes.
on top.
Are you talking about how
It's high
they
pressure
go
zone,
about
low pressure zone, extreme low
building
pressure.
the actual?
Well, yeah, like
residences?
after like the 30s and 40s when like building materials start like new methods of like industry.
Well, it's cheaper now. So I mean,
Well, yeah,
actually,
but
a stick built house now. I mean, think about how fast a house goes up.
They call it
now.
matchsticks for a reason.
Yeah.
After the
It just-
tornado.
how fast it goes up in flames
Yeah,
too.
that was
Exactly.
that was only
Exactly.
that's all like because of we're trying to build the economy after the war. We don't really
Yeah.
need to do that anymore. We can change the way we build stuff. We can decide to build something around.
like
Damn,
Okay,
that's
reset.
like where I grew up, it's
It's gonna always terrify me.
I know every
Dude,
time.
when I was down, like my office is right below
yeah.
this, so like when this is going on, I just get like the most evil bass boost possible in the middle of my workday,
Oh yeah,
multiple times a day.
You know
for
what though?
2
But
hours.
sometimes you just have to stop, and then you're just like, I'm dancing. You know, you're not even dancing. You're dancing.
I know.
funny.
When they did episode 600, I was doing the JoJo Siwa dance to the Crisis song.
Remind me never to look at that.
Dude, it was great.
Remind
Everyone
me-
loved
remind me
it.
to stop
Everyone loved
talking
it.
to you.
Everyone
JoJo
loved it.
Siwa dance.
We are no longer friends.
You and I were friends
Dude.
before.
Well, we've got another story here that we'll briefly go over. Bill Maher You love him. We know him.
Yeah.
He's planning on retiring.
Nice. Hey, finally came
So,
around to it. Nice.
Bill Maher, who's been definitely changing the way he is, I guess since this podcast started, he's definitely been changing kind of his tone.
His vibe.
He's kind of becoming a little bit more unhinged and a little bit more like angry old man.
Well, it's like he got kicked off of ABC on Politically Incorrect for, I think, a 9/11 joke in like 2003.
Because, he was
Which, granted, like I understand it's 2003, like you're playing with fire.
Yeah,
but
at that time that was like very controversial. So he was
only
too controversial
recently
then,
has it been funny to
but-
like make 9/11 jokes, honestly.
it's true.
But
That's like 5 or 6 years. It's because all those kids are now 18.
well, Bin Laden's dead, so it's like, I don't care.
So he says he's planning to retire from stand-up. Let me be clear. So
Yeah, just from stand-up, not his
he's
show.
He's still gonna do real time, and he's still gonna do his podcast. But he was talking with Jerry Seinfeld on his Club Random podcast, and he says that he feels like it's like he's losing an arm, like he's losing a piece of his body by doing stand-up. I'm gonna say I've never even watched him do
Yeah,
stand-up.
but he's said it
It's-
several
this is
times.
dramatic.
So he said it
Dramatic.
several
Has he?
times that stand-up's just not funny anymore.
It is though.
You know?
it
is.
like did we not watch Shane Gillis?
I think
the
that,
other,
I
his-
think that it is. I think that it is.
Yeah.
But it's just getting really hard for the stand-up comedians because
It's not even that. It's his brand of stand-up is like his like if you've ever watched it, it's an
monologue.
hour of his real-time monologue basically. Which
Yeah.
that's kind of why I enjoyed it. Like especially back in
it's
the
kind of
it
before
just sounds
before
like
2016.
Daddy's mad at you. That's like,
But like I could understand why he's been doing this since he's been like the 80s basically. Like
Yeah.
I could imagine and considering nothing really changes in American politics, it only gets worse. I could just imagine it's like really tiring. And then he, has Club Random where he just gets to smoke weed and talk to interesting people. Like it sounds great.
yeah, but maybe that's the problem because there was an episode of Club Random where he refused to
Okay,
just not
that's
smoke for an hour.
no. We're clearing this up right now.
No. Maybe he's just like too used
No,
to
that-
this format of him that he's just able to relax and just smoke pot and watch.
No,
and
that's
do
not the
a show.
issue.
How do you know? Because he was never allowed to
What
do the
is the
show
issue?
in
in
real
that
time.
okay, would you go on Timcast and tell Tim Pool to not wear his beanie because it's against your religion or some shit?
That's
like,
different when someone's in recovery. It's complete. You're talking about an article. Of
I don't care. Is
clothing.
he so weak that he can't sit around when?
Steve-O's
Is
like,
he that weak?
Steve-O's
If
admission.
he's that weak, then he shouldn't be there.
Well, he left.
Exactly. But that's
fine.
I'm just
it.
saying. He asked Bill Maher respectfully if he could just not smoke for.
but
the
I don't-
show is like 45 minutes long.
But that's the entire
And people don't
the
watch it
entire
because-
show is him sitting there smoking weed.
I don't
Well,
think that's
so
the point of the show.
So I understand.
It's not a stoner
I
show.
understand both. So I understand both sides, but I mean, you kind of have to respect the guy.
No, you don't.
Steve-O's like,
I mean-
it's a big thing, and he's like, you invited me on the show. It's known that I'm in recovery. I'm asking you. Bill Maher said no,
But
so
he did
left.
know ahead of time. He did know ahead of time that that was going to go on.
Yeah, I guess he
So-
thought that a guy could not
So I see both sides of it.
smoke
Is what
for
I'm
30,
saying. Yeah.
Also,
40 minutes.
He's not really smoking weed, more so just having a joint in his hand that's unlit for an hour.
It's
Like-
so true, dude. Yeah.
Depends on the guest. I mean, I've seen episodes of Club Random before where he doesn't smoke at all. So the
Yeah,
fact that
that's
someone
what's-
that
that's
has
what's
a
weird about it.
exactly.
But at the same time,
I think that's why I agree,
But
yeah.
and Steve-O's ends like also but to Steve-O's credit, I don't think he just would. I think he came to it thinking it's not going to be a deal. It's not going to be a big deal either way.
My point in
whether
bringing
or
it
not-
up
whether or not you're smoking or not,
is
and
maybe
it
he's just
became a
getting
big
too
deal.
comfortable. Like with stand up, you have to go to cities, you have to get on a stage, right? You have to go through security. Club Random's at his house.
Well, yeah.
And the comfort
He's
of
getting
his
lazy.
home.
He's an old man.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe than being
Yeah.
out on the stage.
Like if you're able to, smoke, hang out your own house, like why would you want to go anywhere else? Especially at
I
his
think
age.
Bill
it's
Maher
easy to be
shouldn't-
steps
I think
away
Bill
from
Maher
your
should stay at
job.
his house.
Yeah.
I think
You
Bill
know?
Maher should stay at his house. I agree, 100%. I think he should stay home. I don't think he should come outside. I really
Yeah,
do.
so you
I'm not
heard it
even
here.
kidding. I'm not even
Stay home,
kidding.
Bill Maher.
Yeah, stay home.
But yeah, he's got a special coming up. Does it
Good
say
for him.
when? He says this might be
I
his
wish him
last
well.
one. He doesn't want to make a big retirement announcement, but it sounds like he's doing.
But he already did.
exactly that with Jerry Seinfeld. Like
He already did.
Yeah, and it's like you made this announcement on your show with Jerry Seinfeld, arguably one of the biggest stand-up comedians ever. So it's like this sounds like your retirement announcement.
Yeah, I wish him well.
But they agree with each other. Like that's why he's doing this is because he thinks that he thinks the same way that Seinfeld does.
Seinfeld seems like he's coming back into the fray.
I
after
mean,
being
I think he's
quiet
trying
for a
to, but he's
while.
saying, I'm coming back to it, and I'm not going to be PC because all this PC crap
Right.
is ruining stand-up. And that was my broader point, is that
His
PC is ruining stand-up.
His PC is going to be interesting though. I'm interested to see what he takes as being.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will now.
It
I
also
think he'll
doesn't
just be
help
like,
that his movie kind of flopped about the Pop-Tarts.
yeah.
Did it?
Well, apparently, he got some bad reviews. He made a movie about the creation of Pop-Tarts, and like he's like a marketing
Why?
exec.
Well,
Okay.
as Jerry
That's
Seinfeld
cool.
put
Money,
it,
maybe.
it's easier to have the brands in there when the people who made them are dead. So like,
True.
Yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse.
yeah.
Yeah. The next story we've got is it's not as exciting, but I'm sure some people will find it interesting. So they're gonna do a Taylor Swift v. Scooter Braun documentary, I guess.
No way. They're
Two-part
milking this?
documentary.
They're milking this harder than Universal's milking Kendrick.
It's now
It's
it's
coming to
just the
Discovery
UK.
Plus.
It's just
and
the
it's
UK.
only in the UK.
Oh well,
So-
they don't even know the story, so that's fine.
I
They can
mean-
get away with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so T Swizzle, she had to
T-Swizzle.
re-record all of her music because
She
so
wanted to.
She blamed Scooter Braun for it, right?
She shouldn't blame her. It was a great opportunity for her to bring all her music up to modern fidelity. And
Selling
stuff.
the
So I
same
don't know.
song twice.
Yeah, I think it's great. Great. It wasn't even really like everyone looks like a bad opportunity, like a bad thing. Oh, Scooter forced to do this. No,
I'm sure it was a
Wait
pain,
now.
but like it
the
was already
Swifties will
written.
come for you.
No,
I'm monitoring chat.
They'll
I'm making
agree.
sure.
They'll agree.
No, they're still
I
complaining
love
about me.
BTS, so if they're just gonna come for me,
But
they
like-
can argue with my BTS homies. Like I'm a BTS. I'm
The
BTS
question
100.
I have is like, did this require a sign off from Taylor Swift? You know, like, is
I'm
she
sure it
asking?
did
probably
at some
not.
point.
Is she asking for
You
this
think?
documentary to be made? You know, and if she is, like, what's her end game? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish? I don't
Money,
think.
money, buddy.
Money.
But a lot of people,
Money.
a lot of
It's always
It's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
a lot of the Swifties will say she never asked for all this, you know, like her being in the public eye like she is with documentaries and the Super Bowl drama, right? She doesn't ask for that stuff, but I'm like, well, then you guys do.
But she's been performing since she was a kid.
That's
like-
different, though. Like, it's different to be
She doesn't ask for
talked about as a performer
So-
and then talked about dating Travis Kelce or having a documentary about Scooter Braun.
The comments on this are kind of interesting. There's people that's like, nobody wants this. She ended him. What's the point? Not Discovery Plus trying to make money off of T Swift's trauma.
That's what it is.
Like, that's exactly
Right.
what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Kids are mad that capitalism.
At the same time,
Yeah.
is she
Kids
saying,
are mad that capitalism. That's what
Yeah.
they're just mad.
Damn
It is.
capitalism.
It's
But is
sorry,
she coming
the
out and
problem is not that. The
complaining
problem
because
is-
they're getting mad on her behalf?
I don't think so.
Like, they're getting
That's
mad
what I'm saying.
for
They
her.
always get mad on her behalf.
So
they're her
that's what it
besties.
is. They're 50 as a man.
They know best, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. I don't know if there
I hope
is.
she gets a lot of money from it.
There's an article
really
here.
do.
I don't know if there's a release
Good for her.
date yet, but again, we're in the U.S. It's not like
No, it
eventually
doesn't-
it'll probably come here.
Well, I
There's-
mean,
there's
It'll
a-
filter over.
There's a trope. What happens in the UK ends up making its way to the States in terms of like
kind of, but it
entertainment
goes
and
both
pop
ways.
culture.
It depends.
goes
Yeah,
both
it does
ways.
go
It does
both
go
ways.
both
Like look at drill music as an example of modern times that went both ways, back and forth in the last like 10 years. You know what I mean? So just a quick example of
The
that.
documentary will focus on the fallout between Swift and Braun after the music mogul purchased the rights to her first 6 albums in a $300 million deal in 2019.
Pretty baller.
So it's like, the guy shelled out $300 million to buy something, and,
And
now,
then you got mad about it, and then you did the music anyway, dude. It's such a win-win-win
like, why
for
like,
Taylor.
if she
Everyone
didn't sign
gets
up on the
mad. It's
sale,
like,
why
I
don't you get mad at the
understand.
person that sold the music, not Scooter
Dude,
Braun?
because narrative, man.
Because like that's like
narrative.
remember a lot of people roast the
It's
museum
press.
in England.
Even bad press is good press.
Yeah.
What's the museum
Well,
in England that
sometimes.
has all the artifacts?
The British Heritage,
Something like that. Yeah, people get
Something
mad
like
they
that.
have all the artifacts, but it's like, well, people sold them those artifacts. Like,
Yeah.
like
Sometimes
sometimes
there were
sure.
A lot of them
that
were
stolen.
discovered.
Yeah.
There are things that
Yeah.
were discovered and
on the
taken.
dead body.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure, but yeah, that's the thing about a lot of this stuff is people are mad that capitalism exists and just is a thing. It's just reality. Like I'm sorry.
Well,
People
it's
sell
people that
stuff.
have nothing that want everything and don't
Right.
want to do the work to do it, so
Yeah.
they just live vicariously
Right.
through people who they'll never meet.
And the problem is people that are above them, that are wealthier than them, that have created this sense of like duty to like a bigger cause, be it like, oh, everyone's got to look out for the other man, like we're all working together for the same thing, but in reality they're just taking all your money and
Yeah.
screwing you over and not actually doing any of the things that they promise you. And that's what everyone's kind of realizing these days. I think I've been seeing on the internet just as much as I've been saying, oh, the right wing's bad and blah blah blah. It's fighting itself. People are all realizing they're not looking out for you, man. MasterCard doesn't care about you. What a shock, you know?
MasterCard.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Well, got some sad news for you, Serge. Belle Delphine is in trouble.
I don't care. We disown her. As a South African, I disown her.
She reveals that she lost money selling her bath water.
Good.
No way.
Good.
You don't.
Huh.
No, so this is not what you think. Someone
you-
says, how is this even possible? Apparently, PayPal didn't like the idea of her selling bath water on their platform, so they
No.
withheld the
Really?
funds.
Man,
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
that.
So if you guys don't know about this,
that's
this is a few-
kind of lame. That's kind of lame.
this
That's
is
getting in the way of capitalism.
kind
right
of
there.
old now. It's a couple, 2-3 years old that she did this. I don't know if she's been doing it all along, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
She's
she like
this,
reporting losses, or is she? Because if she's reporting losses, that's crazy.
she's this
If she's reporting losses the first time since then,
That audit's gonna be nuts.
Wild. That story is very, very different.
she's this kind of pick me streamer 304. There's many labels you can call
Haram.
Belle
Haram.
Delphine, but she decided to sell her bath water, and you can see right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it says "Gamer Girl Bath Water" as she poses with it, and people they like bought her out of it. Man, that's what's sad is that she made a bunch of money, but PayPal said not so fast. Not so fast.
I mean, is it really sad?
I mean, it's sad
Listen, I don't
that
have to
there are.
agree.
It's sad that the banks are able to just suddenly say like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's
all
the
your
bigger
money
issue.
all
That's the
belongs to
sad. Yeah,
us."
that's the sad part. But
Haha, you have no chance
Now,
to
she's
survive.
she's
make
making
your time.
plenty
That's
of money
bullshit.
in other avenues.
I was gonna say,
but
like,
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
Other
come on.
avenues means OnlyFans, just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what he's saying. He doesn't want to say it, but I'll say it because
It's-
she's South African and I disown her.
Is she South
I disown
African?
her. Her parents disowned her. I disown her because she brings
thought she was
disgrace as South
British.
African. No, she's South African.
She lives in
in
South
South
Africa?
Africa, but she says she's British, which is a South African accent. You can't hide that from
I can't hide that from Serge.
I can hear
That's
your
a good
accent.
point. Did PayPal refund the money, or are they just
Yeah, that's
stealing
what I'd like
it?
to know.
I
If they
don't
just
know.
claim the
Because if
money,
they're stealing it, this is a problem. But
if they just
like,
claim the money, then I'm on Belle Delphine's
I
side.
don't care if they
But
refund the
I'm
money.
afraid to scroll through the comments on any Belle Delphine post.
they should definitely.
There's,
refund it.
yeah.
there's no link to like an article or anything, but this is from Drama Alert, and you know Drama Alerts
Oh.
always. They've always got the facts.
Let's get right
So-
into the drama, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if she's still selling it, but it is kind of screwed up. If it'd be one thing, but like then do people then get the bathwater for free? So if you get refunded, but you already have your Delphine bathwater, you know, is it just like best case scenario for you, or that's what I don't understand, and that's why I think this is kind of messed up. Like you're screwing with someone's business, you know. You don't have to approve of what. I guess you do. It's in their
But-
right to approve what people are selling
yeah.
on the platform.
Also, like the terms of service that literally no one reads, but also is legally binding once you sign it.
does
Like,
this count as like medical waste?
Yeah.
I don't.
medical waste.
I'm serious.
Honestly,
I mean, I guess it could be.
Legally, it might actually be classified as like a biohazard.
Right.
I mean, you would think like, who the hell would want to buy?
What
that?
if she did get a bunch of people sick?
Brother, if you don't know,
I mean, it's
someone that
quite
wanna buy that,
possible.
I have a whole lot of stuff to show you, man.
I really don't want to see it. I'm good.
It's been a long war, brother. It's been a long war.
Right. I'm so good.
You've been in the trenches a long time.
Yeah, that's why I'm out, dude.
He's an OG.
I don't do Anon
He's an
anymore.
OG bathwater guy.
I don't do Anon anymore. Not bathwater, just I don't do the internet
It's
lifestyle
got a
anymore.
4chan Purple Heart.
Yeah,
Weird.
pretty much. I don't do the simp. This whole simp thing is just disgusting to me. It's haram. It is literally haram. It's the definition of it. And I don't know what like
But why though? Like I don't understand why.
why someone would buy
I mean,
it.
it's keyboard
don't get
confidence
it.
at the root of it. Like yes, like the simp thing, the simp culture. It's keyboard confidence in a nutshell. Like that's the root of the problem because people who are scared to talk to the local girl at the bar that's alone. They're too scared to talk to her, but they'll talk to, they'll send hundreds of dollars online to someone they don't know, while watching 100 other people send hundreds
I get
of
it though.
dollars.
there's
My
no
question is,
danger in
what
talking
do
to that
you-
girl on the internet.
There
what
is.
do you do with
Not
it once you
financially.
buy it?
Yes, there
Financially,
is.
but financially they don't care. They're not. They're worried about the girl in real life being like no creep and then throwing water on them or whatever it might be because they just said hello or I have a boyfriend. Like we all know
Yeah.
that's what they're concerned about.
Well, like that's 5 seconds of your life.
I know, but dude, today you're the one who told me that Gen Z is all about like having making sure that nothing is raises your anxiety levels, like making sure everything is calm, like
It's a
approaching
vibe.
from it's all about vibe, etc. It's like you're the one who told me that, so like I think of it like that exactly.
I think they're just non-confrontational. Because
Well, that's what I mean.
They all want their
they
safe
don't. So they
space.
don't want to have
Right.
the conversation. They don't exactly. They'd rather be online where they can never have that ever be reality. They've eliminated that
But there's
entirely
no.
from their.
I just
there's
don't see the satisfaction there. Like,
well, yeah, but I mean that's neither do I. Like neither do I, but I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, man. I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. Like I don't understand simp culture at all. It makes no sense to me.
What
I
was
don't know
your
why
question, Chris?
send
earlier?
money to them people.
I just don't understand the whole like
man.
who would buy that, and once you do, like
A bunch of sad,
So,
unfortunate
what
incels.
exactly do you do with it? I really don't even want to know.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's what if all his incels, his
Yeah.
incel army.
No, seriously, Rudyard knocked it out of the park with that one.
It's the group.
And then had to roll it back a little bit.
Yeah, he's walking back a little. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
let's lighten the
Walk
mood
it
here. We've got
Is the mood heavy?
we got roasted yesterday because we didn't have a cue to the day. Well, I've got one today, but first we got to get through 3 different cringes. That's the deal I'm making with you guys. 3 cringes for 1 cue to the day. And the first one we have is this. I don't know what to call this, but here you guys go.
Is that real?
This is real.
What the?
Tattoo.
That's how
Lollipop.
Do I need to hear this? Oh wow, that squirrel's cool.
That is.
Yo, run, squirrel! Run for your life, squirrel!
Let's watch it again.
Do we have to?
Tattoo lollipop.
Yeah, I think she was getting ready for the Met Gala.
Yeah, she definitely looks like it.
Well, that's the thing is that some of those outfits at the Met Gala, she's actually looking quite reasonable now.
Yeah, she actually doesn't look that. She doesn't look that strange when you.
It's the fucking eyes. Like I can't.
Hold it. No, it's not the eyes. It's the flies or spiders taped to her forehead.
I can't even look at that. The eyes are just piercing my soul.
Yeah, the eyes are like those
Dude, I
Nike,
can't-
those Nike like.
I feel like
contacts
I've
I
been
sold 2 years
haunted.
ago. Do you remember those Nike contacts I sold?
Yeah.
That's what reminds me of. You, like, see
Nike
people-
contacts.
I forgot
Yeah,
about those.
the outside of this contacts were like red because they were like they're supposed to be like tinted. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me either. But like you'd see them and be like, what the hell is wrong with that person? They look like a demon, but it's just a Nike eye thing. They stopped doing them like this last year, but that's what that reminds me of. It's really weird.
She looks like the demon version of Barbara Jean from Reba.
Yeah.
She looks like.
Oh my gosh.
That's
yeah,
spot
I
on.
don't, dude. I mean, I kind of applaud it in a way to like be able to do this to yourself and then actually hit the like record, cut, and then post this kind of video.
Well, and before you
I mean,
post,
just
go
look
like,
on TikTok,
man,
like-
I look good. Like,
Man,
what the hell?
yeah, mental illness is scary,
That
man.
poor
It
lollipop.
is definitely
bad
a
for
scary,
The
scary
poor
thing.
squirrel, the poor lollipop.
No, the squirrel's-
There's so
the
much
squirrel's
going on
fine.
in this
Nah, that
video.
squirrel's living the life.
Yeah, look at
Okay,
that. Free,
can we talk about the
nuts.
squirrel for a second? Why is Mr. Squirrel there?
The
He's
squirrel's
eating
a pet.
the nuts. He's trying to get
I
the
mean,
nuts.
like, if you
yeah.
were a squirrel and you had a
She's got
choice of
snakes
like,
on her shoulders
haven't-
and
that
cockroaches
legal?
on her chest.
yeah,
Can you have a squirrel as a pet?
Yeah.
I had a
Definitely.
cousin who had a squirrel. Who,
you know,
pet.
the birds at the park are also free. You can just go get.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man, no,
Just
I
take
love
a
that
bird
joke.
and
It's so good. Yeah, but no, you can keep squirrels, I believe. There's no legal penalty to it. I don't.
So the
I
free
don't
state of
imagine.
New Hampshire's who posted this. It says
That's
embarrassing that this is who we're losing to. It's not going to get better for America.
We're not losing to them.
but is
I
that
don't think we're losing.
We're not
to
losing.
them.
People have realized
No.
that what they say on the internet is just a small vocal minority that just says a bunch of crazy shit.
But are
anyways.
they?
It's growing, though.
And they're
That's
accepted.
the
It's not
problem.
really
They're
growing.
It is
accepted.
growing as more and more people get internet access.
I don't necessarily believe that this woman has political leanings either
think so
way.
either way, yeah.
I refuse to believe it. Honestly, I think she's just like.
You don't.
Her-
you don't think she leans one way or the other? Because I certainly do.
Oh no. I don't think she's a lesbian either.
I didn't say that.
You alluded.
I was not. I was saying that she was a leftist.
I don't think that matters. I think,
yeah, that
I think there's
doesn't
so many
matter.
other questions that
Like,
you have to ask when you see
her
someone
thing is
dressing themselves
are you
with
going to
bugs.
allow me to have my squirrel and my hair? That's
Yeah, but I wish they
I don't
had
know,
the
man.
at here so we could kind of like dive deeper because I guarantee, just like Dylan Mulvaney, the content didn't start with what we're seeing now. The content
No,
maybe
it
started with
evolved.
just the squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but-
then she adds a snake. And then she adds the martini glass filled with peanuts. And then she starts eating lollipops,
Yeah.
and then it goes further and further. Like next thing you know, she's going to have the tattoos, like,
Dude, stop giving her
Covered in
ideas.
your eyes.
Dude, no, that's our
Yeah.
thing. Don't get ready. We're turning, I'm writing this down
yeah.
right
I was
now.
going to do
Stop,
that
man.
tomorrow. What the hell?
I'm writing it down. Like you get slow down. No, but I don't know. I just think she really isn't political. I see what you're saying. And I don't know. She's just living her life. Like whatever.
it looks like she's in a city from, I can't really tell, but the outside
Yeah, but
looks
everyone lives in
looks
a
like an
generally
apartment.
urban area. I guess. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe she needs
whatever.
friends.
I don't really care.
She
I
needs
feel bad
friends.
for her.
Sir, Serge, you could be your friend.
I would be her friend. Why not?
I've got.
She owns
hold
a
on.
squirrel. That's sick.
Hold
I wanna
on.
be a squirrel.
I've got a better friend for Serge with the next cringe that we'll talk about. Here we
Okay.
go. So this is about a lecture. There's a chalkboard here. It says hosted by Spoticus. I think here we go.
No.
Oh no, the furries. Dude. Not the furries.
Hell
Dude.
yeah.
I have never wanted to show up with school with a lighter and an axe can more. That's
You see what that says up there?
dude.
No,
it's
What if
in
your
STEM, isn't it?
lecturer
Oh yeah,
was a
Berkeley.
cat?
Okay, yeah, there it is. If you said Berkeley already, I would be like, yeah, cool. No.
So is this a professor or a guest lecturer?
Real shit though, that suit probably costs like $5,000.
That's what we were talking about
Yeah.
yesterday. That,
crazy how much
I wonder if he has tenure. What do you think?
Probably in order to buy that suit, most likely.
Oh, you can
More than
probably.
likely.
You just have to have a beating heart to get tenure at a university.
That's very true.
I
A
just
beating
don't
heart
know
that
why.
bleeds blue,
Okay,
of
Andrew,
course.
the
I was going to
same
say,
reason-
yeah, exactly. As long as you're
the
leftist.
same reason I get
Yeah.
mad at Bill Maher for not being able to put the joint down is the same. It applies here. Why can't you put what you enjoy?
Okay,
your
okay.
freaking hobby?
That's way
no.
That's
no.
way different. One of them
no.
is his
You're
house. The other
forcing the-
one's a
Yeah, but it's
institution
his
that
house
people
to
pay
the
for.
world.
And he also
It's
invited
his house to the world, bro.
guests to the show. But
Okay.
my point is you if someone
know.
has a problem right, society has a problem with this hobby of yours, you can't put it on pause.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a
Portion of
problem
the
with
day.
this either. I just think like if you have like if you just want to go out there and look like a total idiot to 99.99% of the population, go for it. Like you can wear a princess costume as a grown woman. Like nobody's stopping you. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah, but you've got kids paying for a college education here.
yeah.
It's a little bit different.
And that's kind of what my point was when you
It's
brought
not-
up Bill Maher. Like it doesn't.
It's
not equal.
It's at his house, but it's also a studio for a business now.
Yeah, but people.
That's my point. Like you're putting it out to the world. It needs to be a bit more professional.
But
But
like,
a
you're
business
kind
doesn't
of
mean
saying
it's-
live and let live, right?
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
but
give
they're
a
not doing that. They're living
I mean, in
and
this
letting
ca-
and forcing everyone else
in
to
this case, like it at a university as a lecturer, like okay, yeah, there's a little. You might want to like there's decorum.
It's a
I
job.
guess.
If you,
Yeah.
you boil it down, they're both jobs, and you both have them subjugating their own.
Yeah, but
like,
the thing
hobbies.
is, the thing is, this is a public institution. When it comes
Sure.
to Bill Maher's show, that's
It
a
is
private.
private.
It's a
Even- yeah,
private thing.
businesses
And a
can be
private
private, too.
business. It's
That's
I
true.
guarantee
That's
you,
true.
it's not a publicly traded company.
No.
I see your point, but this isn't the same as like talking about like Enron, like a massive corporation that impacts millions
Damn
of people's lives versus like these kids are going to a UCSD. That's a California state school. Like they don't want to. Maybe there are kids. I guarantee there are kids, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe my professor is a
Yeah, but
furry.
there's absolutely
Like,
kids that are doing that.
yeah,
and not
I
only are they
promise.
doing that, but they're also saying to
crazy.
themselves,
It's
if I
real.
speak up against this,
Right.
I'm going to get canceled.
I'm the villain.
And
Guaranteed.
that's
There's
the
few of those kids
that's
in
the
Berkeley.
bullshit part about it
Right.
is that
There's few of those
they
kids in
can't
Berkeley,
say a
but yeah.
damn thing about it.
Yeah.
But what are you supposed to do if you're a student? Right? So like
Grow a
okay,
cat
the
and
question
say
in
something.
Berkeley,
the
I don't
caption
know.
here the
dude.
caption here is what if your lecturer was a cat? Well, what if? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to
Yeah,
just
I mean,
take
like
it?
that's a very open-ended question.
I would leave class and when I first got to
Leave
class,
the catnip
and I
at
learned
home. I don't know.
That, no, if I got to class and I learned that they were furry or they were pro furry in general, I would say, okay, I'm going to go to the next class and change my schedule to get out of class. That's how every
you
college
could do-
works.
yeah, they threaten.
yeah, but
You're also talking to the guy who had the cops called on him because he wouldn't wear a mask in school. Like,
Hey,
it's
bitch.
you
I
know.
I mean that's
True story.
But then
That's
you're-
legit, bro.
Well, then you're out of tuition, and then your grades suffer.
But yeah, no, yeah, and I agree. It's not like, but
What
at
do
the
you mean?
same
What do you mean out of
at
tuition
the-
and grades suffer? Why would my grades
No,
suffer?
no,
I just
because-
transferred classes. I don't know what you mean.
like the thing. Well, it's not
Well,
as
but, I
simple
mean-
as that because like if you do get expelled from a school for something that little, that shows up on like your academic record. So like when you apply to other schools, like they get really like.
and you have to drop it within a certain amount of time. So if you're past that drop period and you drop it, now you're out of tuition.
Well, yeah, it's just,
You know,
it's
lot
like usually like 30, 40 days into the semester when it's just like, okay, your trial period is done.
So I assume this is
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I assume this is a recent video, so you have the semester's well underway.
Well, I'm pro
But-
fur trade, so
I just
A
want
lot
to
of
know how
chat-
much.
I'm gonna say that. I'm
Most
pro
of
fur
chat
trade.
is either saying call animal control or
Yeah,
or
fur
just
trade.
leave, or just leave the class.
Dude, the
Yeah.
U.S. was built on fur trade. The U.S. was built on collecting pelts and trading furs. I'm just saying, we're a trapping culture. Like I don't
you're walking
understand
into
why-
the devil's den here.
He wants to trap all the furries.
I hate trapping, but sacrifices have to be
Serge,
made.
where are you going this
sometimes.
weekend? Well, I'm going hunting.
I think hunting's different. I think hunting's different and it applies different things. But I mean, I'm just saying, fur and pelts built this country, And they built our toque up north. They
You
built our
said
toque,
that's
our
like a
hat.
$5,000 suit. So like,
Some of them more than that. Some is 20.
I wonder if there's like, I wonder what the
crazy.
resale market is for like fur costumes.
I don't know because don't they like?
They get we were
they-
talking about
Yeah, don't they like?
we were talking about rainforest yesterday. Which is
Like there's some
Yeah.
activities that take place.
The story we were talking about
It is
yesterday
It is
is
so
there was like a
disturbing.
parade of furries and they completely trashed the hotel doing degenerate
What's the
things.
resale policy on a mattress that's been used for a month? Like I would
If
say,
you're talking about Costco, you can return it after 10 years.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but they
Costco's
don't. Yeah, but they don't.
Wait
They don't
till they start
resell
selling
it.
the costumes.
They don't resell it, fellas.
they send it back into the incinerator.
It goes to the incinerator. Like you can have it for one day, and they send it to the incinerator.
Dude, someone there. The Costco
don't
stuff
they even
is
do it
wild.
with like clothes off the rack? Like once you've tried clothes
Yeah, they
on
don't
or
keep the-
something
they
and
don't
it's
keep the
not on
value
the
of it.
rack, like they just basically toss it.
I think so. Yeah.
There's probably
it's a sanitary. type
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
You know.
It's like if you return stuff to
Especially
Home
with
Depot or
women's
Lowe's
clothes.
or whatever, they just make that stuff into floor models, and then the floor models can then be bought from that.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it could be like
Yeah.
the same thing with the bathwater. It could be like a biohazard. Like we.
Oh,
Can't
I think that these people that are
resell it.
dressing
well,
up
no,
in these-
because thrift stores. That doesn't. I don't know.
These people are
glad I don't work
definitely
at
health and-
Costco.
buying
Yeah.
bathwater. The furries are
That's
the
a high
furries.
likelihood,
The
yeah.
furries are
There's
definitely buying the
there's
bathwater.
Probably some
That's their
overlap
bathwater
there.
economy.
Yes.
All right,
But they
so
don't need bathwater. They're self-grooming.
They don't use baths, man. Yeah, what do you mean bath, dude?
Depends on what type of furry you
What
are.
if they're chinchilla kin and they
Well-
like bathe in dirt or whatever? You know, you never know. Like
That's
they,
true.
All right, I'm done with the furries. It's 2 days in a row. No more.
yeah,
But
no
we
more
do have one
furries.
more cringe just to ruin your guys' day. So this is TikTok has a trend where they teach you to get your rage out. I guess a coping skill of sorts.
Oh, this one.
So this
This is so good.
this
You guys are
woman,
gonna love this.
she's a new mom. She's very angry.
Oh God.
You're gonna
So
love this one.
yeah, check this one out.
Is that ice?
Ice and grunting.
Yep, that's what you voted for. All those policies really didn't turn out the way you thought that it did today, honey.
Poor child.
Go
Poor-
to
poor
therapy.
Calm down, Karen. Wow.
Karen's a racist term.
She said it
you don't use
worked.
racist terms on air here.
This is what happens when white women don't
Just a
have
name,
their
bro.
Percocet and white wine time.
Oh wait, oh she's got another bucket. Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of racism,
I'm just kidding. Dude,
You guys get
I-
the point.
yeah. She's just like, okay, so why don't you just get a
like
pillow and
tennis.
yell on your pillow? Or why don't you just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you can do other things. Like, good for her. The weird thing
Take
about
a
all
kick-
this
I know where you're
Boxing
going.
class.
I know where
is
you're
you're
going with it.
filming it in your bathroom and
You've had
posting
to-
it on
Does
the
she have a-
internet.
dude.
What are you doing
exactly,
with your
dude.
day?
Does she have a
man?
job?
Like, do
and
something.
if she does, like her employer's sitting there going, "What in God's name?
where
is
are
this
your
chick doing?"
kids, lady?
Exactly.
Yeah,
What
imagine
are you
you
doing?
Imagine you get frustrated at work. You just start destroying like things.
Well, and if she does, I mean,
Who films it?
If she does have children, if she
Got
does
them,
have
like,
children,
in her
like
bathtub.
well,
She
this
does,
is
she
why
does.
What is
she's
she
angry.
showing them?
So because
She
she's the frustrations of being a new mom is why she's so angry, and that's why she has to smash ice.
Take those kids away from her.
Dude,
Don't actually do
But
that.
no, you're absolutely right. Like
CPS, that's you?
So she had to. She had to. So let's say she's angry. She had to watch a TikTok to recommend this. She had to set up her camera. She had to cut.
Yeah, there was
She
like
had
a
to
good
post.
20 minutes of like thinking about this.
There were
a lot
many
of deliberation in
things.
this.
yeah.
this was
There were many
premeditated ice throwing.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
it's like the videos when people show what ADHD is like. It's like, no, dude, ADHD is like you think irrationally and you act like on a whim. If you like cut and produce a whole video,
Dude.
that's not on
like
a whim
it's like
anymore.
cynicism.
Yeah, you
for
have
me.
to be focused to do all that.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not ADHD.
It's just more of this like culture and this trauma economy that we're in.
That's what it is, and it's
Trauma
just, all it
economy, I
is
love it.
because we've gotten rid of any social mobility through any other means than clout and attention. So we just say, oh, if you, it's like I made this analogy the other day. If you have a giant sign that says like, oh, like hookers and drugs and sex and rock and roll, and it's a giant sign, and everyone looks at it 'cause it's massive.
What's wrong with
you
that?
You can't miss it. Listen, look, hear me out. Giant sign, you can't miss it. Everyone's gonna look at it, so it gets a lot of attention. But the value of this, it's an eyesore. It blocks everything out. You miss the entire Shenandoah
Yeah.
Valley. You can't see. That's what I'm just giving you an example here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't promote things that are overall good for society, in my opinion. I think those things should exist. Yes, they should exist. To be fair, but I'm saying the value of this sign or of this media, in particular, we're talking about media. Like this is media content. What we're talking about here, it has value to it. If it's good and it contributes to your life, that's good value to you. You spent your time, which is your most valuable resource, on something that's good and worth something. All we do right now, the only metric we have is like or dislike or attention economy. We don't even likes or dislike. We just go talk about views. We talk about get the views, get the clicks, whatever. it's not even really like, did I click positively or negatively? It's like, did this contribute to my life or anything? So I think we have a big thing going on with like the entire economy of the attention economy has to have either an added metric or something to it. I don't know if we can do this anymore. We're already beyond this point.
Do you think it's definitely adding? Because I do. Do you think it's definitely adding to the diagnosis of people having more ADHD because everything's
Some people say they have ADHD and they really don't. They just want to get a prescription for Adderall. But other people like me have ADHD.
But they make
For
this
real.
mistake with young boys who generally are a little bit more wild than young girls.
Well, boys are supposed to be that way. I
Exactly,
love
that's the
them,
point.
but that's the way they are. They don't have
because
ADHD.
you don't fit
Right.
in the 30-kid classrooms at public schools. Usually
Well, we
comes
shouldn't have a
jail
30-kid
cells.
classroom
Exactly.
in public school.
That's where
that's
it
where it
comes
comes
from.
from.
That's what he's saying.
Hire more damn teachers.
That's where it
That's
comes
what he's saying,
from.
though. That's what he's saying. He's saying that because they can't sit in that regimented thing and they're fidgeting and they don't want to pay attention. Just
All
like
of a
me.
sudden
as a
they're
kid, they
mentally
say,
ill.
Oh, you're mentally ill. When in reality, it's like, no, I just
No.
shouldn't be sitting in a jail cell for 10 hours of my day.
And that's
so
all.
my
That's
parents
all
can go to
public
work.
school has become.
It's all it ever was.
That's
That's what it was. The foundation of it. There's a pressure
It
in
was
school
daycare.
to make kids
Yeah.
into literal working cogs. That's what it's always
There's a
been.
lot of
Let's
history
not kid
to that.
ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
the
lot
same
of
thing with
history to that.
marijuana laws and stuff. There's all in the history. You got to look in the history and see. You'll see it's there for you. You just got to go look at it. And if you read it, you're like,
it's
wow.
the Rockefeller
shocking.
way.
We have a
it's the
$20,
Rockefeller way.
$20 super chat from Jacob Edler. He says, ice throwing videos brought to you by the 19th Amendment. Listen, if you need to throw ice, I'm sure that's cool. Like, it looks fun. It makes, smashes into a million
for it.
pieces.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Still
I used
cringy.
I used to build like little Lego Star Wars ships and then smash them mid-battle, and the Lego pieces would go flying. But you know what I didn't do?
Your mom's love you.
Record it and put it on TikTok.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. That's the thing. It's the
And your
weird-
mom didn't exploit you either.
No, right. It's this weird narcissistic
Thank you,
edge
yeah.
of like the modern social media era, which is like everyone cares what you're doing. No one cares what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. If you can get me to care what you're doing, that means it's something that's important to me, not you having a mental illness.
I was
like
talking
an
with
episode, literally.
Elijah's producer, and he's like, I kind of think of it. Remember the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
He's like, that's where you really first started seeing this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So, like
Ice
start.
related content.
No, like this, like just like
No, the-
monkey see, monkey do.
Oh.
Right, just
Yeah.
like just
That's great.
just
Like
copying.
it just snowballed.
exactly.
It just snowballed
Exactly.
into
and media.
and then they founded ICE just shortly after that. Actually,
Yeah.
and it
Right
was all.
it just comes full circle.
well, do you know, like you watch the gun tubers, the YouTube people that review guns, and they shoot blocks of ice all the time. Like, I get the value there, but that's not what this is about. Like,
It's
this
a
is
TikTok
about
thing.
No,
look
this
at
has
my
nothing to do with
trauma,
the
feel
ice.
sorry for me.
This has nothing to do with the ice. She could have been throwing anything. The
Right.
bottom line is she went into her bathroom. She may or may not have children. She may or may
That's
not
true.
have.
We
Okay,
don't
she has.
know.
She has
you're
kids.
right. She may or may
She has
not.
kids.
Yeah,
Okay,
she may or may not.
So she says she has children. Okay, so what example is she setting for her children?
bad one.
And what example is she setting for all the other
can't
children of
wait
the
even
world that she's
shittier one.
putting this crap out
That's
to?
why they like.
You
That's
know?
why I think they say Gen Alpha's gonna. We worry about Gen Z, and then Gen Alpha's coming right next. But I think they'll be okay because they're gonna see all the ridiculous crap their parents are putting on the internet that stays there.
Kids are based.
Like, you can delete
Well-
your TikTok, but 10 other people have it saved, and it's been posted.
I don't know.
And talking about things coming full circle, I really think that the next generation is going to go back to the old ways of thinking.
They said that
I already
about
see
ours,
it.
though.
I want to get like a landline
They
phone
what?
again.
They said
to be
about
honest.
Z though, and then didn't really happen.
They were
Depends.
sort
There's
of.
a split in Z.
There
That's the
is a
thing. Those
split,
who grew up with social
but
media and those who didn't.
Yeah.
It
There's
depends
a
on who your parents are, what you're
Yeah,
rebelling,
how you were
what you're rebelling
raised.
against. Right, what you're rebelling against, what you view as the authority figure in your life, and whether or not you are have proclivity towards rebelling. And I think that's where a lot of these splits come.
Well,
out,
and a lot of
come
this has to do with cause and effect. Okay, so like everybody says damn boomers all the time, right? And the thing is but and I'm not trying to take up for them because the behavior sucks, right? But the reason that they are the way they are is because they got told be seen and not heard. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't say a word.
Seen and not heard, yep.
You know, and I remember, so my grandfather kind of like raised me, and
That's like Puritan.
well, I mean, he was, so I wouldn't even have to do anything wrong. We'd be going somewhere and he'd grab me by the arm, and he's born in 1920, and God love him. He's the greatest guy I ever knew. But he would literally grab me by the arm before we went in anywhere, and he would go, now you be good. Don't say a word.
Right.
Don't speak unless you're spoken to. And that's how my mom was raised. And so, it, you know,
I don't
just,
see anything wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it's cause and effect. So the reason that the generation
well,
of the baby boomers is like, no, rebel, and they didn't give a damn about their kids in a lot of ways.
But dude, even the Egyptians,
some of them just didn't. Now,
Right.
my mom did. My mom's a great
but
mom.
even the Egyptians were talking
like,
about how their kids are ornery and are not listening to us. Whatever. It's just human nature, in my opinion.
Ornery.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously. Hey,
learn from your
I'm
mistakes,
serious.
and that's what kids are going to do a lot of. Is make a
But
lot
I think
of
we're coming back. I
mistakes.
think we're coming back full circle now, and I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. The only thing is that if we come back full circle and you have this more conservative way of raising kids, what's going to happen to those kids? You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna go the way of some of these baby boomers that have become like
Some are gonna rebel.
leftist crazies,
Depends
or are you
on
gonna, or is it gonna be like they're like, hey, I really appreciate my mom and dad for giving me structure and discipline. So
Depends how extreme or how moderate they were. It
That's
depends
true.
on how much our proclivity is to rebel. No one really knows. I think it's just to say that, like, I think that's why I keep arguing for the middle, for the.
I think the middle,
general,
I think the middle's a
Yeah.
good thing.
The middle class is dead. So arguing for the middle is like saying, like, I want a middle class to exist. I think it should be. It hasn't been that way in all of human history until just recently. The middle class, a lot of the stuff we're seeing is kind of. It's all waterfall from having a middle class in the first place. That's never been a thing. It's always been we have tons of money and we're wealthy, i.e. kings, and we are the peasants, i.e. like the serfs, like the lower class
Right.
that you see today. And that's only going back. We're going towards feudalism in that direction. I don't want that to happen.
Well,
so
it's
I
one-
argue for the
it's
middle
one
and
extreme.
reasonability and being rational over everything all the time.
It's one extreme and another. That's the problem. Is there's one extreme and another. So like,
Yeah, extremes are dumb. Extremes are lame.
The greatest generation, extreme conservative. The baby boomer generation, extreme left in some capacity. So
Yeah.
it's just you need more of a middle road, and that's
boring,
that's,
though.
no,
Make
that's-
America
that's the
mid
way
again.
I kind of try
No,
to be.
it's
I kinda-
logical.
I try to see both sides of it and go down the middle.
People ain't smart. People ain't logical. People
But
don't
that's
give a damn.
exactly-
They
that's
can't be
logical,
tra- they can't be
Chris.
tread.
That's right.
It's not
Yeah.
fun. It's logical, but it's boring, right? Most
Yeah.
people, they want to see
It's
the
true.
extremes. On that note, we have something kind of extreme. That is the cute of the day, and it's sad but also cute. So there's a zoo. I'm not really sure where this is from, but they didn't have pandas, but they wanted to have pandas.
Those look like
So
They're dogs.
they're
Yeah.
dogs.
Those are
They
dogs.
are in fact dogs.
That's a weird looking dog.
Yep. So
Country
they-
was this in here?
dude, what's wrong
I
with your
assume
dog?
this is the U.S. I don't know. Yeah, they're adorable, but you don't
Why would
die.
this be in
Don't
the
die your
US?
dog,
This wouldn't be in the U.S.
dude. It very
Oh, they
well might.
painted them like that?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Those
Oh,
are
I thought
painted
they-
dogs.
This would cause an international outrage for the U.S. The U.S. and China would have like a literal.
I disagree.
spat.
You got
Yeah.
to realize that there's
Do the
like,
Chinese use pandas as diplomats? And they as
I know,
diplomacy?
and they took them away.
Yeah,
That's
so they'd
why
be
the U.S.
pissed
is
if
the U.S.
did
needs to
this.
fill the panda void.
There's a guy on
with painted
TikTok.
dogs.
No,
Yeah, but they paint dogs all the time. Like they have
Yeah,
like
I've
have
seen Pikachu stuff. Like
Yeah, but they have paint that's like that doesn't hurt them or something. And I'm not saying that that's right because I think it's kind of cruel.
no, paint your dog.
Nah, bro. Like
There
why,
is
why the
safe-
hell do you
there
want to
is-
paint your freaking dog?
There
man?
is
No.
dye that's safe for their fur, but I just generally like let
dog
dogs be
doesn't-
dogs.
yeah.
Like, you don't need
Give
to
them racing
apply your
stripes.
human. Like you're putting makeup on a dog when you do this. That's what you're
Exactly.
You have
Like,
a Nike symbol.
they don't care about that. Like just let them be fucking dogs.
doing. So
man. Like,
yeah, it's kind of messed up. They are cute dogs though.
Politicize the dog. Put a political symbol on your dog.
politicize the dog.
like a Trump sticker, like a MAGA sticker on the dog.
Put a Trump stick on the one side and then a hammer and stick on the other side. And let the dog walk around the neighborhood, you know?
Oh. All right. Well, now that
Anyways.
we're 50 minutes into the show, we're ready to actually start the show.
Are you serious?
Serge, yes.
Oh,
Those
did
were
we
none
just
of the
go
main
live?
topics. Those were none of the main topics. Are you
Wow.
ready, Serge?
Yeah, sure.
Andrew?
I guess.
Chris?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So the first story we've got here is from the Met Gala, which was last night. And, it's frustrating because I was trying to find other stories. And the Met Gala, it just hijacked all of like Twitter, all of the regular news outlets I watch. Met Gala, Met Gala, Met Gala. So it's frustrating, but I did want to bring up a special appearance by, Lizzo. So she, I don't even know what we're looking at here. This is what she wore. This is what she wore to the Met Gala.
Ew.
And it only gets better from here, guys.
Irina!
Better in what way?
Gorgeous
Every
Irina!
way.
She's wearing the empty Chiquita banana suit. She ate all the fruit.
I saw someone say that the manly urge just to ball up a piece of paper and shoot it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, so you said that the like that worm, where those are the giant sandworms?
She does
It's
look like a
the
dune
worm
worm.
from Dune.
Yes.
Yeah, she looks like she's from Dune. Exactly.
Like, I don't know what it's supposed to. I guess it's supposed to be a flower or a tree or something.
She looks dumb.
I mean, she always looks dumb.
She kind of looks like
Yeah.
the female version of
Bro,
Guru.
she always looks dumb.
I don't know what it was supposed to be. Now, it was so exciting, the Met Gala, that there was people were just dying to get in there and see the dresses because there was a riot. That audio's coming in a little hot.
Free
Dude,
Palestine.
all these Met
Coming in
Gala
hot.
fans are breaking down the barriers to go and see the Dune Worm.
This is an insurrection, if you ask me.
I can't believe they were trying to go in there and literally take over the Met Gala.
It's just amazing.
I can't believe they
though.
were trying to take over the institution that is Met
they
Gala.
could-
By going inside the office, they therefore then claimed dominion over the entire.
All the
that's
people,
crazy
they
to
could
me.
not be bothered. All the people with their fancy dresses that just look terrible, they could not be bothered by the
So
mob
haram.
outside
So
coming.
haram. Bad.
Yeah, but
Classism, man.
I like to think of it as they were just
Yeah.
such super fans. They just had to be there, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I understand.
We've also got Sydney Sweeney. Everyone loves Sydney Sweeney.
I don't
She
know who
was
that
actually
is.
one of the more. You know who Sydney Sweeney
that's
is?
more mild compared to some of
She
them.
is
looked
she?
elegant. She's the it girl now. I mean, I don't know, Andrew. Who was Sydney Sweeney? Oh, you guys are so disappointed.
Oh, someone bought that bathwater.
Let's
But yeah, an elegant
Sweeney.
dress. She doesn't have a
American
weird basketball
actress.
hoop on her head. Yeah, she's like
She's
she
known
was
for
in
her
Euphoria.
roles in Euphoria
Yep.
and the anthology series The White Lotus.
She's got a few rom-coms.
Yikes.
She's the it girl. Everyone's obsessed with her on the internet right now.
I'm not.
I'm not because I've never heard of her because I've
Yes.
never watched either of
Wow,
those.
you guys are
stupid
not
shows.
I'm
pop
sorry.
culture
I
fans.
I don't know who she is. Man.
Brent and Margie, I apologize for the
Sorry, Brent and Margie.
the table that we have here today.
I don't
the
apologize for
panel.
anything at all.
Are those
Bryson
supposed to be
Marcy.
like amazing shows or something?
But she looked no, but she's just the new beautiful young actress that everyone's talking about.
Is
I mean,
she
that's cool.
young?
She's been in some cool stuff. But
Yeah.
like
And you know,
Madam Web,
she honestly,
Madame
she was
Web.
in Madam, even though that
Yeah.
movie was terrible.
Immaculate. She's in Immaculate. That's a new movie.
She
She's a new Megan
think.
Fox that they're forcing down our throats. I get it.
I guess I wouldn't quite say it's the same, but yeah, actress,
she's
a
beautiful
new
actress
Emily
on top
Blunt
of
that
the
they're
world.
forcing
She's just an attractive white woman on screen. Like,
Yeah, but
She's the new Zendaya that they're
she's the
forcing down our
new.
throats.
No, Zendaya is still very
Zen-
much
Zendaya's very
in her
different.
lane. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
I don't-
definitely
I don't-
got her portion of society carved out.
Yeah,
Which
you're trying to show me
well,
the Megan
not
Fox
only
to her.
that, not
Trying
only
to show
that,
me
but
Megan Fox,
she's
tough.
it's the whole her and Spider-Man thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she's dating Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I will say though,
a whole different
she's rocking this black bob now. So she's a blonde girl. So this is a new look.
Is
and
that a
I
wig?
think
That's a wig, right?
It might be.
It looks like a wig.
That's a wig.
It
bro.
might be, but I also don't think she'd wear a wig. I think she would just.
Oh, they'd
dye
all
her
wear a
hair.
wig.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are they even there? Or
Who?
are
What do
they
you
just
mean?
masks?
All holograms.
Yeah,
all
so
holograms
was the
here.
2024 Met Gala just all AI?
I think it was all AI.
Yeah, it could be.
It was
Could
actually
be.
at a Palestinian protest.
We've got Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter showed up. She's another girl that everyone's obsessed with, but because she's really short, I guess she gets slandered all the time. She's a singer.
What is with
She was
the
a
internet right now
YouTuber.
and everyone's suddenly being short? Why is Drake suddenly making like this whole attacking short kings? What is going on with everyone being like attacked because they're short?
I've straight up seen takes
So annoying.
about
It's so
Sabrina Carpenter.
dumb.
I've straight up seen takes where people are like, "Oh, she's never going to be that famous
An
because she's just too short."
An immutable physical characteristic. Oh, like dude, that's
So yeah, she was
so
there as well.
ridiculous.
Now this is really the video I wanted to get to. So Kim Kardashian's there because somehow she's at the Tom Brady roast, and then
she's at everything.
they got to the Met Gala the next day.
Jet
She was having some. She's like struggling to breathe here. I'll let you guys watch the video.
Good.
So you can see she's trying to hold it all together. But wait till you see the corset that they have on her.
Wow.
There you go.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Like, can you ever explain anything she does?
No,
you
no.
can't. You
Horses
can't.
are dumb.
Cringe.
Can't. Yeah, but
That's
so
like
there's
200 years old. Come on, could be in the past.
there's a
Something to
video
colonize her.
that of her trying to go up the steps. So there's these set of stairs at the Met Gala. So you walk in on the red carpet, right? You show off your ridiculous dress, and then you have to go up a set of stairs.
That is the height of fashion, sir. How dare you call it ridiculous?
So yeah, she's like struggling. She's like huffing and puffing, like panting because of this.
How's that
thing
different from
she
any
said.
other day with her? She's always huffing and puffing and panting.
So yeah, Kim K. She was there. There's a top comment. She looks like she can barely breathe. Why do they continue to do stuff like this? No one has that waistline. At what point will we see real, natural, and realistic bodies?
She looks like a Barbie doll,
See,
dude.
I want to look
Sweetie
like,
was
like
there.
people in the past that never had unrealistic expectations for their waistline.
No,
That's so problematic.
There is like, if you look at the supermodels of like the 40s, they were
the supermodels of the 1800s and like Victoria.
I don't think that existed.
Corsets.
No,
Oh yeah,
supermodels.
corsets did. But
Beauty
Oh,
pageants
yeah.
not
existed.
supermodels.
Huh?
Beauty pageants existed.
Yeah,
they're the
but
same thing.
Not until the invention of like the camera and film industry did you have like superstars that were just famous for being beautiful. You know, like that's a newer thing.
I
You had print magazine. We were talking about how print media died,
Yeah.
but
The first photo was like 1820, I think, right?
Yeah, it's way back in the day. I would review your history because I
don't-
understand
it
what you're
wasn't of a
saying.
I'm not
supermodel.
saying there
There
weren't
wasn't
people
an
that were
industry.
known
I mean,
for
there's
being
not like a-
beautiful, but I'm saying, dude, we're talking about night and day differences here. Like,
Okay.
dude, Marilyn, like that's the
I
fact
don't know
that
what
you
you're
can't.
arguing about. I mean,
I'm just
we're-
arguing that people didn't used to be this ridiculous. They wore corsets. That used to be a common thing in fashion.
Well, you just said it. It's like people. It was normal to be that ridiculous. Like it never.
Not, dude. Are you looking at the picture?
Yes, you should look at pictures. You should look at pictures of the old.
Dude,
Her waist,
sorry.
her waist is
I'm
like
sorry.
that big around.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a whole other level. That's,
that's-
why she wore the dress.
But that's what a corset does.
That's what it
Not
does.
like this though.
Bro.
I mean, it did in the.
I'm
it
not
did
even
in
going to
the
argue with you. You
1800s.
can just Google it. I'm not even going to argue it.
The corsets did do that in the 1800s.
Yeah,
Like this.
like-
Yes,
yes.
just like
that's
that.
insane.
That was the
they
point.
Yeah,
did.
that's the point.
It
That's
just
why they
wasn't
suck.
out there in your face like everything else is now.
Well, it was. It was just everyone was doing it.
Yeah, and it was viewed as normal. It was normal. It was normal.
I want to know why
culture.
she even has to wear a corset.
'Cause she's
already
dumb.
gotten all that body work
Because she's
done.
dumb. Who cares?
Like she's.
she's
we're giving her more of a platform.
Yeah, that's true.
we are.
That's
We're-
true. I did it yesterday.
She's
too.
absurd. She's just
Way
trying
to
to
go,
talk,
bro. Way
talk
to go.
to about like how she crushed her organs inside and could have potentially given her like internal bleeding. That's all she wants to do is talk about that. Which is
I actually
good
was
for her, I
reading
guess.
about
I don't
stuff
care.
how dangerous it is to
It's
wear.
extremely dangerous. Yeah,
Of course, that's
the
like
1800s are not known for their anatomy,
Safety.
you know,
Serious
or
issues.
Oh,
safety.
definitely
yeah.
not good for you.
That
So-
dress is
No.
not OSHA approved.
I don't know. Good.
Well,
for
it's like you would wear them so much that it would be like the. Have you all ever seen the binders? Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it
Like chest binders for like the.
Well, no. I meant like the foot binders.
Oh, foot binding in
I mean,
China.
yeah.
That's the
Oh my
Chinese tradition.
god!
Lotus
like
feet.
it would
dancers.
it would
Lotus
absolutely destroy people's
Yeah,
limbs,
exactly,
man.
exactly. But the
Awful.
point was your wife couldn't run away because from bad treatment. That was the underlying point. But then
Based.
yeah, it became like an
He
idea
said
of,
based.
of it looking
That's
pretty
the
or
opposite of
whatever.
based.
But yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No,
else
that's
there.
it.
Well, the final post we have here is a thread of some of the other outfits at Met Gala. So here's Zendaya. I don't know what she was supposed to be. She looks like kind of like an evil villain from a Disney movie.
She really does. She looks.
She isn't she. What,
She looks like she was on Once Upon a Time.
It's Maleficent.
It's
Yeah.
Maleficent.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
can
what
see
she does?
that. I can see that. People said she arguably had the most like unique but also like modest look there.
I mean, by their standards.
By
yes.
their standards, I agree.
Yes.
Kylie Jenner showed up.
It must be an interesting.
Again, who cares?
like
I don't know who Mona Patel is, but she had a butterfly dress. I've never heard of this
That's
woman.
not even like
very well the Indian family name.
the worst thing there, though.
This one was interesting. This is like
Yeah,
she's
that's-
wearing like wood.
That's pretty cool.
He said that's pretty cool.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's like she hollowed out a mannequin.
Yeah.
And then put it on.
But I mean,
Yeah, kinda cool.
isn't this supposed to be the pinnacle of fashion? Like, who the
One
hell
of 'em.
wears this stuff?
Yeah, but
one of them. They're
like,
supposed to be over the top.
Most people
and
shop at
ridiculous.
Walmart and wear Wranglers. I mean, like
that's the
come
thing.
on.
It's just evolved into like an art thing. It's not like this is. It's like a concept car. A concept car is never going to come out for people to drive on the
I think that's
road.
stupid too.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing.
They have to have someone to be able to design.
Put something out there
and push
that-
the boundaries. You can't,
I
you can't
get
just
it,
always
but,
make
but put
something like that.
put something out there that's actually attainable.
But it's not for you. It's
You're
not
right.
that you're wrong talking about.
You're right.
That's
Dresses on
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
celebrities definitely not for me.
Exactly, that's my point, and that's
You're
why
right.
it's not
I know, if
for
they
us.
had a-
and they don't want it for us, and if they, I don't know why they even
Dude, if
film it.
Armani hollowed out like a tree trunk in a suit, I'd wear it.
based.
Yeah.
It's like those Balenciaga like literal like you seen those welded
Dude, can I
shoes.
get it in mahogany? Like a nice deep mahogany
Have you
red?
seen these?
Like, yeah.
Have you seen these shoes?
What?
They're like welded. They're welded like steel boots.
sick.
And they
After
say
a year, do you
Balenciaga
stain it?
That's been on the side. They're literally steel welded boots. It's crazy.
Who wears them?
They're Balenciaga. I don't know, but
Dude,
Kanye.
I might be wearing a pair
Kanye,
soon.
yeah.
Hang
they're
on.
crazy. They're like welded.
Andrew
steel.
wears them.
I'm not even kidding. It's a wild.
Andrew, I want to know, do you stain it after a year after it settles or no?
I don't know. I'll let you know in a year.
Okay.
So Kendall Jenner was also there. This one's pretty modest. I don't. It's like it's definitely a fancy dress, but it's not like a tree.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
that's not a tree.
This one's interesting. Greta Lee wearing a custom low shield dress.
Is that so she can like hide her face?
I think it's so people don't come up to her.
It looks like she's wearing
She
a
just
hoodie
tucks in like a
backwards.
turtle.
Yeah, they try to get close. Yeah. Exactly.
It's a turtle shell.
It's a turtle
It's
shell.
a turtle
I like
shell.
that.
It's
I like
reverse.
that. This one I think is my favorite. Bad Bunny showed up.
Who?
Bad Bunny, the rapper, Latin rapper.
Okay. Yeah. Still don't know.
That's
who that is.
drippy as fuck.
I think this one's cool. He
Yeah.
got roasted.
If it
But,
ain't country, I ain't listening to it. I'm just kidding.
oh, look at him. He's so.
What the hell is he
he's-
wearing, dude? Like
I don't
that
know.
headdress.
He looks like a
Is that his hair? I don't get
No,
it.
no.
No, it's a hat, right?
It's a hat. Yeah. He looks like he's.
No, that's not a hat. This is a hat. That is
Kind
not
of
a
looks
hat.
like a matador.
He looks like
honestly.
Johnny Depp
That is
showing up for trial.
strange.
This one's okay. This one's actually kind of cool. I like this
Dude,
one.
that's just
So
a dress.
But someone else who had a
That's normal.
Daniel, was it Daniel Levy? Is that his name? He had one where it was a suit that went from black to flowers. So like, there's like this, I guess, fade kind of theme going on.
Well, I
this
was gonna.
year.
Well, that and there is like a flower theme going on there.
A dress for seemingly a guy wearing some kind of dress suit.
Pimpin'.
Big pimpin'.
I
Dude,
think,
he
I think-
needs a cane.
I think there's burn holes all over the place. Yeah.
Pimpin'.
Yeah. So
He's the guy holding up the sign that says hookers. And
I think he was fighting. I think he was fighting fires. Before he went to the Met Gala.
Dude, where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
that's the new LA County Fire uniform.
So that was the Met Gala for you guys. I know you guys were dying to be there, but it's okay.
I
Honestly,
lost my
I'd go.
ticket
We're there in
in spirit.
spirit. Exactly,
Yeah, we're
exactly.
there.
So let's go to super chats. We got Shane H. Wilder. He says, "Happy Taco Tuesday, Kellen, Serge, Chris, and Andrew."
I was told it
What's
was
up, Shane?
Wednesday.
Well, thank you. What's up?
By who?
You.
Did I say it was Wednesday today?
No, I'm trying to gaslight you.
Oh, well, it worked. It worked.
As is tradition.
Tacos. That does sound good.
Bad Comedy says, Met Gala server. We have an aged. Oh, let me make this full screen. We have an aged 8-year-old and 6-year-old paired with a robust, sumptuous Bordeaux. Met Gala guest. You mean steak, right? Met Gala waiter. ... It is creepy. I mean, some of these. Yeah.
It's creepy. Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder says, Brent and Margie to the cuck chair, Kellen. No, not this time, man.
Not this
No,
time.
you can't even see. Can you see the chair? No. There's no cuck chair anymore. We got rid of it. Mr. Anderson says, can't stop storms. Operation Snow Globe. I don't know about that one. Have you guys heard of Operation Snow
Yeah,
Globe?
it's like one of
Can you
those
give us
weird
the
weather
50
control.
cent version
Yeah,
of it?
It's like
it's fringe.
it's like HARP basically.
Yeah.
So-
Which is not necessarily not true.
I don't
but
know how
Where's
you're
the
supposed to-
evidence?
But like HARP weather control, like HARP exists. It's just like, are they like? Is Laura Loomer correct? Did they cause that blizzard that we got caught in
Okay,
Iowa?
Like,
so
you
here's
can
the
create
question.
conditions, I guess, but you can't stop a tornado that's barely.
Yeah.
Do
towards
you believe in the chemtrails? I mean, that's the question.
No.
You don't believe in
No.
them.
No,
I
I mean,
believe in
I think if you're
contrails.
talking about like, what comes out of an airplane, no.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like cloud seeding, yes.
Cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding exists,
that
but
is
they
a
don't, I
real
don't think
thing.
they're
That's
like
a
they're
real
like
thing, yeah.
spraying us with chemicals right now. It's just they want to spend money on other stuff, man.
And they're also very open about
Also,
when they
like-
do it. Like when there's the Zika problem, they were openly saying we're spraying like pesticides into the air.
Also,
Yeah.
like it's so high up that by the chances of it hitting someone or anything, it's like dropping a marble from like the Burj Khalifa on a
I
small
agree.
target.
Yeah.
Which might do a lot of damage, but at the same time, but
No, they've actually proven that one false.
really, how fast does it fall?
Terminal velocity. So, but
120?
the terminal velocity, it's enough to dent your skull, but it's not enough to kill you. Yeah,
Interesting.
Thank you, Dr.
So it
Andrew.
hurt.
It'll hurt.
Okay,
Did you see
it'll
the,
hurt. That's for sure.
Did
Okay,
you see the
cool.
storm in China like 2 weeks ago where they had like hail
Big-
the
yeah,
size
the
of like
giant hail.
melons?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are saying that's so fake. Look, it's not hitting
No,
any other buildings.
They have that in
I'm
Idaho,
like,
Montana.
dude.
They have that every once in a while. Every like
Dude,
20 or so
Texas
years, they get
hail?
that's like massive. Like it's true. I've seen hail literally the size of my fist. That was coming down the night prayer. That's
Do you guys
loud, man.
If your car gets damaged, does insurance cover that?
Sometimes.
It depends. Yeah, depends.
Depends how bad it is.
It did the last time we had one in West Virginia that
Did
was
it?
that was like that. I don't think it was
because it's not that common out here. We will get hail.
Oh
but
no, we'll have some hellacious storms this summer.
we got one like a month ago. Like
yeah,
a little
but
bit of,
I don't think that it's anything. It's normally like golf ball size is the biggest.
right,
Yeah,
You know, that we get there,
and that's rare.
So my mom had she had some damage to her car and they covered it. You know, so
exactly, that's what it depends. Like if it's like the size of a fist, they're gonna pay you out. But if it's like little ones the size of marbles, they probably won't pay you out, even if it damages your car.
Hail's weird though, because like the whole area can be raining and
Yeah.
it's only hailing in like
In
one
or two
in
spots.
one little spot or something. Because we didn't get any damage at my house, but my parents got all sorts of damage at theirs. They got a new roof out of the deal. So yeah.
Yeah, good on them.
We'll get one more super chat before we go to the next one. Lord Crimson says, "What kind of flat-footed children are choosing PBJ over grilled cheese?" Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
usually they'll say, "Would you smash the like button and share this show? Yes or no?" But I made fun today. I said, "Which is better, peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese?" Right now, grilled cheese is winning with 69% of the votes to 31.
It depends though. It
Like,
depends.
if I'm at the
is it a
beach-
straight grilled cheese or is it like
Whatever you mostly eat, I'm like let you decide. So like if I'm at the
I don't know,
beach,
man.
it's PB and J all day. But if I'm like home,
See, I'm not a beach
like
person.
grilled cheese is more of a cold weather food. PB and J is more of a warm weather food, in my opinion.
I
can see
I
that,
could see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but grilled PB and J is also very.
What did we
good.
talk about? You could go the Elvis route and do like
Yeah.
peanut butter and banana and bacon
The bacon thing, I've never heard that
In a
before.
panini press too.
in a panini
I've
press.
never
Starts
Yeah,
sounding
bacon.
good when you.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
As do tacos. Taco Tuesday.
So Serge, do you want to go over kind of give a recap of
is a
Drake and
pedophile.
Kendrick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey.
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 just get out in front and start this off with Drake has. There are receipts for this. It's not like it's a new thing. Drake has spoken to girls that are like, but like there've been like
Dude,
she gave an
he was-
interview.
We'll
He
start,
had a
start from the
weird-
beginning. For those who didn't watch the show yesterday,
Yeah.
give a quick recap.
Basically, what's going on is J. Cole started a fight between the big three of rap, which is Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole himself, and Drake, and he backed out of the fight almost immediately. But before Kendrick came out and said but some basic things, basically like released a song called Family Matters, attacking Drake and talking to his son, etc.,
Euphoria.
and saying or Euphoria, right? Was that the first one?
Yeah, Drake's response was Family Matters.
Right. Okay, that's right. Pardon me, I got the two mixed up. Euphoria was by Kendrick Lamar. Drake's response was Family Matters, and then after that. So Kendrick didn't really respond. Kendrick made a foray into it. He kind of called out some people. I don't know if it was Drake who did it first. It was J. Cole who threw the first punch.
Yeah.
But it's now boiled down into a fight between Drake and Kendrick. Anyway, so first comes out. I think first was Euphoria, right?
Yeah.
With Kendrick. Then was Family Matters, or first was Euphoria by Drake. Then Family Matters came out with Kendrick, and then right after Family Matters came out, Kendrick released another one the next day. Called Meet the who is it?
Grams?
Meet the Grams. That's right. Which is Aubrey Grams is Drake's name and family name. And I think he essentially cooked the guy. I mean, he accused him of basically mass manipulating, lying, being a deadbeat dad, being a pill popper, like being a colonizer, all these crazy things, calling him Canadian, which is hilarious.
He's not accusing him of
Calling him Canadian.
Euphoria was
just
just
making
a
sense
of it.
straight 6 minutes of Kendrick just going in.
Yeah,
it was.
it's wild.
Yeah.
But anyways, all the stuff I just want to say has been backed up by receipts. Like Drake has spoken to young girls under the age of 14, 15 for a long time when he was the age of 25 and 24 and
Dude, he recently
30
had,
recently. He's 37 now for reference
He
too.
recently had a weird friendship with Millie Bobby Brown.
That's
like,
where I was going out.
when
I
she was
remember
still
that.
14, and it's just
Right.
And he has 27.
really?
I saw
This
DMs
has
from
been
that,
coming out.
yeah.
This has been all this stuff has been out.
It
It's
was
been-
more
it's
than
been
a
knowledgeable.
friendship.
People know about
Yeah.
it. It's not like it's nothing. And the question now is actually what I believe happened was someone was shot at Drake's house. Someone, I don't know if it was shot, but they were shooting at Drake's house. Or there was
They said it was a
so
drive-by.
I'll pull that up.
Rap game don't fuck
but
around.
That's
Yeah,
the only way this is gonna resolve. I think.
So
at
we
this
had
point.
yesterday. I pulled this up from Clint, where he said at the end of this tweet, he's talking about the beef, and he's like, someone's going to end up in cuffs. Kendrick Lamar with the latest shots fired. Well, it's funny because today there's a report that overnight there's actually a shooting that occurred right outside Drake's Toronto home, leaving a man seriously injured.
Not surprised.
Drake was not harmed. I don't know if he's involved or not, but it was either right in front of or at his property itself. So now this is like escalating to more. This is like, that's why when people say stuff is only online, I'm like, sometimes, because it does bleed out into the real world.
That's what I think.
Just like this, whether or not it's Kendrick Lamar or Drake has anything to do with it, dude, fans think they're friends with these people. Yeah. Right? So not only to that, but there's also a store in London was vandalized. They not like
an
us
OVO store?
on the window, an OVO store.
Yeah.
So Drake is seeing real world repercussions from this seemingly online
dude.
rap
And
beef.
Universal's making all the money because Universal owns Interscope via Geffen Records. So it's like
So
they're making money off of this stuff. It's just like Pac and Biggie back in the day. It's all internet beef. But I'm saying they're just basically Mandingo fighting. These giant rappers against each other. They're putting these two rappers against each other to say, like, well, let's see who comes on top. It looks to me exactly like Pac and Biggie back in the day. And they're even from Canada and from
I was
Atlanta.
thinking like when
it's a new LA and New York.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Pac and Biggie thing too, and I was like, dude, if Who Shot Ya was that hard,
Yeah,
dude,
I
there'd
know.
be wars.
There'd be war back in the day, for real.
Yeah, dude.
In comparison to what he said in Euphoria, it's crazy. And then how Family Matters when he addresses his son and stuff like that, he addresses his whole family, and then tells Steph Curry and these other people, these other wealthy black people, to not talk with Drake because Drake's weird. Dude, it's wild. Like if you slightly suspect, like if you suspect Diddy at all, you have to look at Drake's situation and be like, the dude really responded to being called a pedophile by saying, "I'm too famous for that." Okay, let's subpoena this guy. Let's see what he's too famous for supposedly not having done, especially in 2024.
Now,
the whole story is crazy.
I've seen
crazy.
Some people suggested that, hey, maybe if there was someone like a whistleblower in Drake's camp, that Drake found out who it was. I think
like
that's a
15
ridiculous statement. That
dude, yeah, people
you're gonna harm.
Hires
You're gonna harm
of
someone that works for you at your place, like at your. That seems like
I don't know.
an
The
insane
Obamas did it to the
statement.
chef.
Then someone else
allegedly.
Someone else said,
Allegedly.
someone else said, not in front of in the chat right now. Someone says, not in front of the mansion. Think about how frightened his butler must be.
Yeah,
it's true. This guy. I mean, look at this place.
That butler didn't
look
ask
at this
for that.
house. I mean,
Yeah,
like
true.
it's like.
I mean, it's
dude, they're
massive,
acting
man.
like they're the biggest victims in the world when it's like, yo, like look at the house.
Like your
that you're
house
in.
is the size of my high school.
Where
dude.
was it? Was it
Toronto?
Was it? Well, no. I mean, like, was it out on the street or did they breach the perimeter?
It says outside Drake's Toronto home. So
well,
like,
then
yeah, was that
boo-hoo.
on the street or was that in his driveway?
Boo-hoo.
That I don't know.
You know, it could have been anything.
It could have.
But they're just attributing it to.
It could have been a super fan that thought he was going to have his, 15 minutes of fame.
Kendrick or of
well, that's
Drake.
what other people are saying.
It could be either
like,
one.
It could be a super fan, or it could be like Kendrick taking this way too seriously, and
Well, there's already I didn't want to talk about it as well, but there's rumors beyond this about like Drake's involvement in other rappers' deaths. So it's like I don't think it's too far.
I've seen
anyone.
the Diddy comparisons with Drake.
There's so many comparisons. Wow. This is a way bigger thing than people are immediately giving it credit for. And I didn't talk about this yesterday on the show, but like I think there's a bigger thing going on in black culture altogether of people that are saying we're part of this new school black culture that's like pro-trans and all about being,
how do we know
being
this isn't
feminine
completely
versus being a man and where Kendrick Lamar is really saying do push-ups, be a man, don't take Ozempic. It's a bigger discussion that's going on in America. It relates to America.
Well, like,
that's what he says.
What's interesting?
He literally says you should listen to these songs, man. They're crazy.
This rap beef started, and then the Diddy stuff, just everyone stopped talking about.
Right. Who again? Remind everybody who is making money off this. Universal owns Interscope via Geffen. Interscope is famously
the diddler strikes again.
Right. It's famously the record label of yeah, exactly. It's a label of Kendrick.
Man.
It's a label of Drake. Drake made a $400 million contract with them just recently. Just a massive contract with UMG and Lucien, who runs UMG. Dude, I don't know. I just think it could just be a big.
Where does this end though?
That's what I'm saying.
People are saying it's settled now, but like that was before
I don't know.
someone got shot outside Drake's
It don't
house.
seem settled.
Yeah, it seems like
does
it's
not
just
seem settled to me.
beginning.
Yeah, but
This is
like
just
a
the
lot of
first
things,
hit.
there's some people they say I'm in the, I consider myself in the camp that nothing ever happens. So no matter how crazy things get, it always fizzles.
Right, when a rapper
the fuse
makes
never
a-
reaches
Yeah,
the
rap
end.
game's a little different though.
When a rapper makes a
It
response,
hasn't been in 25 years.
dude, when a rapper makes a response that addresses stuff that a previous person made, you're already on the defensive, and that's what he did after this most recent, what's it called, the most recent one that he did, the second one that he dropped in 2 days. Drake then released his own song in response to it. I forget what it's called, something like "Letter to the Romans" or something.
These diss tracks are like they're on a whole different level of diss track. Like this is like that's a declaration of war, basically.
Yeah, it's and then like that's why there's no difference in saying,
worse
oh,
than
beef
Biggie
or
and
is it a rap
Tupac?
battle?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. It's at the level of that.
Yeah,
It's-
because like Kellen said, it hasn't been like that since the late 80s, early 90s. So like, I guess complacency had taken over, and then you get isn't Kendrick like an actual blood too,
or
like
value
was?
for life
Like-
maybe took over. I don't know.
Well, that's what we were talking
Actual
about
gang
yesterday.
members,
If you're
you
just
know?
talking about the man, like how the man came to be, Kendrick was like truly grew up on the streets.
Yeah.
Like saw real violence.
Yeah, so he's an
saw the
actual,
real
so he was
consequences
possibly
of,
an
like,
actual
life.
gang member. Yeah,
Right.
Versus
Saw the
some
real
of these other
consequences
people.
versus Drake, who was he's a
child
child
actor.
TV
Yeah.
star.
Child star, and raised in
And
Toronto.
Canadian.
and Canadian,
And Canadian.
half white.
Canadian.
Like
That's another thing that Kendrick
you
talks about in his
automatically
tracks.
lose all sympathy points with the Canadian
do.
label.
Well,
You do.
I wonder if Canada has this,
Even
like,
Lil Wayne years ago was like, "Yo,
Rap
Drake,
beef.
keep it Canadian," and now Drake is clearly
Keep it
going against
Canadian.
that.
That
He
could be
literally
a
said
shirt.
that.
Keep it
He literally
Canadian.
said that. Look it up. Lil Wayne literally told Drake, like, I was talking to
look
Drake,
it
said,
up.
"Yeah, I told Drake to just like keep singing this. Don't be hard. Don't try and take on people like Kendrick. Don't use Tupac Shakur in a track talking about Kendrick. Like that's an insane thing to do, which is what he did. He used an AI version of Tupac Shakur to talk to Kendrick, which is just like the most
That's cringe.
mind-numbingly
That's very
cringe
cringe.
thing. It's
Yeah.
such a
That's
weird
just
take.
cringe.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, so I found an article from Complex. This is Lil Wayne's advice to Drake.
Yeah.
Don't start singing about the streets. Keep it
Canadian.
Yeah,
Canadian.
Literally,
'Cause, like,
that was his advice, and he is not taking the advice of Lil Wayne, which is a bad option, a bad decision in rap music. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, but you know, like
I would never do that.
I'm saying keep it Canadian.
Gotta keep it Canadian.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the whole thing is going to end up with. I mean, hope there's a lot of receipts for Drake talking to 14-year-old girls, 14, 15-year-old girls.
I was
Like,
just-
it's a
So
lot.
why is
So
it
here's the
somebody investigating
I'll say
this?
so. This is
That's what's gonna happen.
Yo, they're,
That's
sorry.
what I think is going to happen.
This is the quote in the Complex article, and it's this is what Lil Wayne said to Drake. I was the one to tell him, don't change anything. Don't think because you're coming over here to the United States that you got to rap about the things I rap about. Please rap about your little TV show. Rap about girls, because that's what. I don't even think he was trying to roast. Like,
he wasn't. He
Rap
wasn't.
about your Disney
He
show
said
or whatever.
rap about girls because that's what you're good at. Don't start singing about hurting anybody. Don't
Yeah.
start singing about the streets. Keep it Canadian.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about that yesterday. It's like
What a patriot.
Drake got famous
What a
for
patriot,
being
dude.
that lover boy R&B stuff. Like Best I
Yeah.
Ever Had was one of the biggest songs in the country, if not the world. And it's a love song. It's a love rap song.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
kinda nice,
Mario. You know. Like so. Yeah, maybe he should have kept the advice.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't take it, but I think he's also not. It is kind of crazy. Like he called him like you're short, you're mean. You may have hit your
You're
wife.
mean.
You may have hit your wife allegedly. And then Kendrick was like, I hate you. I hate the way you talk. I hate everything about you. I hate your label. I hate that you farm your views. I hate like the way you treat your kids. It's just like. You picked I don't know why you would pick a Pulitzer Award winning lyricist who's like a generational like legend to attack.
A wordsmith, if
Like,
you will.
why would you do
wordsmith.
that? As Drake, what are you doing? Like, he's gonna
Yeah.
call you a
The money,
pedophile,
the
and he
money
did.
got to his head, guaranteed. The level of fame, the
Or-
money,
or
the yes
Lucian.
men.
Or being a part of Universal, and Universal telling him
Because
to
you
do
could
this.
say, like, you could
know?
ask, like, why did
Who knows?
Kanye go down the path that he went down? And Shane Cashman's interviewed the guy. He has like extensive writing about Kanye, and he's like, yes men in his corner. Like
Yeah,
constantly
yeah.
just saying,
Not
do
checking
that,
you.
Do
Yeah.
do that.
I also kind of think
well,
with
shit
Kanye,
gets real
the
when you get
limelight
checked.
broke it. Like, certain people just can't handle that level of fame, so when they do, it literally breaks their brain to the point where, like, they just go insane. Like,
Yeah.
that's
It
kind of what I
becomes a
think
mental
happened with-
disorder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
essentially.
I
Yeah.
kind of think that's what happened to Kanye. Like, I don't know. He's always been unstable, and it's never gotten any better.
They say I mean, he's always been like a unique individual, but it wasn't until his grandmother that passed away.
His mother.
Yeah.
It was his mother?
His mother
Mom.
that passed
Yeah, he really went off the deep end after that.
Because I think she was the one keeping him in check.
Because it was a surgery that was elective. It wasn't a surgery she
Really?
needed. Yeah, it was
So
a surgery that
sudden.
was something she elected for her.
I didn't know
emotions like
that. I thought
and
it
she
was.
died.
I assumed it. For whatever reason, I thought it was his grandmother, and it was just
Yeah,
old
no,
age.
no. And he paid for it, and then he then feels as though because he enabled her to do that, he feels.
Oh, I didn't
responsibility
even know
for his
that
death.
part.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it.
Jeez.
Everyone looks at him like,
That's
oh,
deep.
he's wealthy and stuff. He can't go through struggles. Like, no,
Everybody goes through
their
struggles.
that
Yeah.
you don't know about. And he made it. Like, he started when he was young, and he did it the old-fashioned way through impressing producers and studios. Like, as someone
Dude,
who's done
when I
that
was in
stuff
high school, he
in
was
the past-
awesome.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I agree.
like,
and as
first
someone who's
albums, they were
done that
awesome.
stuff, dude. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And to be where he is and to have gotten where he is, dude, I have a lot of respect for the
So is
even in now.
J. Cole in the camp of Kendrick? Like, is he on Team Kendrick? Or
I
is he
think
just
J. Cole is just
stirring the
staying
pot?
out of it because J. Cole realized.
but he started it. How can you stay out of it?
He's just
He
doing
probably
what Sun
started
Tzu
looking
did.
through his DMs and was like, ah, shit.
Oh,
I picked a
shit.
fight,
Did
dude.
what Sun Tzu said. He said, if you can make your enemies fight each other and wear each other down, great. Then you only have to deal with the one of them that emerge victorious. That's what he's doing. And I'm telling you.
So he just gaslit the situation, and
because he's also not. I mean, him versus Kendrick. I think Kendrick would
Kendrick wins, yeah.
probably beat J. Cole. I don't know, but I'd rather see that than anyone versus Drake. This sucks, dude. Like, I don't want to listen to more Drake. Now, it's not gonna
so
hear
Kendrick,
Drake
I believe.
cry.
Drake, I was like, Drake.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what?
But that's because Drake's trying to. I don't know why. If you look at the credits of the songs, it's not Drake writing these diss tracks. It's like writers writing these diss tracks for him, and Drake performing them. If you look at the credits for a Kendrick song,
but
it's
he's
just Kendrick writing these songs.
is
He's
something
taking the
that's
bait,
crazy.
man. He's, you know.
I mean, hopefully he takes Drake down with pedophilia charges. Who
Spotify
knows?
officially came out, and the number one hip hop song used to belong to Drake for single day streams. Well,
that's
Kanye
true.
took that crown. Or sorry, Kendrick took that crown now. So I think if Drake's
like us.
ego was hurt before, imagine what
Oh,
he's
now
going
it's
through
really
now.
it's really bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
so the Not Like Us, the diss track against Drake is the song that dethroned Drake's song.
Yeah.
So
It's great.
I do
Classic
agree
man.
that like we're not at the end there, but I do like maybe it hasn't. It's because like the late '90s or '90s was the last time we saw true rap beef, and we haven't seen it. We've been in like an era of peace.
Well, that was gang beef masquerading as rap beef.
yeah, but
Right.
is this gang beef?
No.
You know what I mean?
This is
Like,
gang
Drake's
even a different
definitely
level.
not
This is
in a
like
gang. If
hundreds
Drake
of
is in a
thousands of
gang-
dollars.
Drake's not in a gang, but
This is like the labels being
Kendrick-
gangs.
Yeah, but Drake
He
pretends
might
he
be.
is like running through the six. Like
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like he's always just this like.
Whether or not
remember the
true.
Drake.
Drake's always been masquerading. He's
Like-
he's fakes the funk, man. He's not really
Dude,
a
the
United States
Drake, the
Street.
type of guy
Definitely fake,
memes were
Yeah,
the
that's
best.
why they're like
Drake,
that.
the type
That's
of
why they're
guy
like
to
that.
say me when he sleeps.
Some of those memes are so
They
good.
were great.
They're great. They're still around.
Yeah.
They've been getting worse now because of this situation.
I'm surprised I haven't seen them pop up like that.
The pedophilia memes about Drake.
No,
have been
no, not the
hilarious.
pedophilia memes.
There have been
The-
hilarious ones lately. I don't know. I'm just saying.
So according
to
according to chart data, it had the biggest single day stream of a hip hop song in the history of
Not Like Us?
American Spotify. Not Like Us. The original title holder was Drake and Lil Baby, "Girls Want Girls," and I think that's just like, yo, you had a very successful song about girls. Like
Right.
that's what Lil Wayne was saying.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's just sitting there
He's like, I
vindicated as
told
fuck.
you. He's like,
Dude, I mean, so like just for timeline for everybody, it started out with J. Cole song, then it was a Kendrick song, then it was a Drake song, then it was Kendrick came back with two songs very rapidly back to back, one day after the other one. First one was 45 minutes after the first one, and then the second one was the next day after Drake hadn't even had a chance to respond. And then now there's another one that came up from Drake, and it's kind of a little cryba response, being like, oh, but like because he responded to the accusations, and when you do that in rap battle, you're kind of like admitting defeat. You're like, oh, I don't have more content. I've got nothing else to say. But Kendrick's like, I got so much more. Let's keep going. I got more content. I
Dude,
got more
yeah.
things to say.
He's
I
like
got more
Keemstar.
receipts.
oh,
It's just
I got
it's
more
just
receipts.
an idiotic thing for
you're
Drake
talking
to
about
attack this guy.
ghostwriters, and it's
crazy.
it's widely assumed that Kendrick does not have ghostwriters. So
He
the
doesn't.
fact that he's able
He
to
literally
respond
doesn't.
with like a number doing these,
Well, then he's already
a
won.
song
And
doing
this
these
all
numbers.
takes-
he's already won.
This all takes place
you can't
over
tell
the
that to
course
Drake,
of
though.
what,
You know,
a week?
that's-
It's
This
a
has been
court
a
of public
weekend.
opinion.
This is a weekend. This is a
Like, I
Friday
was-
to Sunday.
I was
ladies and
listening
gentlemen.
to
This is a
one
ridiculously
song,
fast
and
thing.
Spotify said new single
Yeah.
from artists you like, and I've never seen that before. While I was listening to the one song, I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa,
Dude,
like,
it was crazy.
This is different."
45 minutes afterwards, and then a day later, he's like, "Nah, not done yet." And then he released "Not Like Us," which is just completely. People were saying like "Meet the Grams" was too like sing songy. It wasn't really good. It wasn't like it was a track you listen to once, kind of experience it, kind of like that one Childish Gambino song that everyone's roasting right now. You listen to it once, you experience the track, you watch the video, and then whatever. And this one, the "Not Like Us," is like a dead-on diss track. Like he's just literally saying he's not like us. He's not part of our team. Drake's not one of us. He's not one of my fans. He's not a person I relate
You are
with.
The
excommunicated.
article's
Pretty
going
much.
on to say that they even think that "Euphoria," the other diss track by Kendrick, could be the biggest song next week. So
Yeah,
like,
it will be.
and like
It
diss
will be.
tracks don't do this. Like the article
Yeah.
points that out, but it's also known like these are usually like side projects to like show your ability as a rapper.
Right.
They're not meant to be chart topping, right?
But
like
this is because this is a bigger cultural issue that I think that Hendrick's pointing out.
Well,
like
and
this
it's
is weak. This
a
is
good
whack.
song to listen
Drake
to.
sucks.
It's not
He's
just
Canadian.
like, dang, I saw what you did there. Like you can actually like bump to the song.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
he's like hitting every mark.
Dude, and Drake's Canadian.
But it's interesting.
Drake's
Did I
Canadian.
mention that? Did I mention that enough?
It's interesting though because like I've always considered Drake to be like the white kids rapper, like the rapper that
That's what
all the
Kendrick
white.
says.
Yeah, but it's
his-
true
in the
though.
songs?
Like
Yeah,
any
frat
like
boy rap.
I've
Yeah, Asher
Frat
Roth,
boy
Asher
rap.
Roth type guy.
like at least like the few dudes I've known that were like from the trap, they don't fuck with Drake like at all. Like and neither.
If they like that, even if they mess with Future.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
we're gonna finish off this segment with a white pill because no pun intended, but Macklemore is here to save the day.
Yo,
All of this,
again.
Absolute pun
let's
intended
go.
there.
while all of this is going on, he's decided to enter his hat into the Israel-Palestine debacle. Which I'm like, dude,
Wallahi,
you
save us.
you're just like you see you're in an oil field. Why are you playing with matches? Right?
Because he's Macklemore.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause he's Macklemore.
Exactly. So you've got this new track where he's
Don't.
it's all about Heinz Hall. Heinz Hall is the Columbia University
my.
hall
Oh,
that the
dude.
protesters took over. There's footage of the protests and everything. Now Macklemore, I think he's desperate to be relevant again, and I think he sees this beef. Be like, guys, I'm noble. I'm fighting for justice.
Is he
I
gonna
don't
fight
care
for
about
Kendrick?
rap
It's just
beef.
clout, dude.
He's the one who dethroned Kendrick for Damn in whatever year 2013 when Kendrick released his.
Maybe
like,
this
his
is a
huge
dig
art.
at Kendrick.
Because when he
Maybe
came out,
Drake
in
called
his
him up and
acceptance
said, "Yo,
one-
Mac, I need you to do it again."
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's weird. So what
Was
so
it
what did
Damn
he-
or
what did
was
he
it
do?
Good Kid, Mad City?
It may have been,
It was
it may
Good
have
Kid,
been
Mad
that.
City.
Good Kid, Mad City. It might have been that. I
Damn
think
came
Damn
out
was later.
2015.
Yeah, Damn was later. It could have been that. But either way, Macklemore won famously in
Yes,
a
the
music
thrift shop
music
guy,
awards.
chat.
Yeah, thrift shop guy. He won in the first his debut year against Kendrick, even though everyone was like, no, Kendrick should definitely have won with Good Kid, Mad City, which is a great album. And then he came in his acceptance speech and was like, yeah, I shouldn't have won. Kendrick should have won, guys. I don't know why I did this.
It
but
seems like the type of hired gun that Drake would call in the one
Yeah.
rapper that has a golf brand that's actually pretty sick. Like,
the one white guy.
yeah.
not to talk smack, but one of the things that they're talking about in Kendrick's raps is like in Not Like Us is that they're not, they not like us? Is that what it's called?
The Kendrick diss track?
Is they not like us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, he's basically saying that like he features all these black rappers for like street cred. Like he has 21 in his raps to be like to get
Yeah.
the street cred and stuff. Because 21 is actually from the streets. Like this is not he's not actually
Yeah,
from
but
Atlanta.
he's
He's from
British.
Canada.
Oh, 21
No, I mean-
Savage?
Yeah, 21 Savage does
Oh,
have
okay.
British citizenship and stuff like that, but he did grow up in Atlanta and did get see his brother shot and stuff like that. He's from the streets, but Aubrey is not. I'm sorry, Aubrey Graham is not from the
Aubrey
streets.
Graham.
I apologize.
Aubrey.
That's such a dig.
I mean, I've never liked Drake, and like I'm not gonna suddenly start liking him now when he gets called a pedophile. Be like, oh,
That would be a weird coincidence to start liking him, Serge.
People on my Twitter have been saying like, oh, people are hoping this is true. They're just hoping that Drake is a pedophile. No, I'm not. That's the whole point. The whole point of me bringing attention to it is hoping that Drake is not a pedophile. I don't want him to be a pedophile, but if he is, we should stop him. He shouldn't
Yeah.
be too famous to get away with it. That's insane.
So
it's crazy.
Stop being a pedo, Aubrey.
Macklemore, he's digging at Biden in the song. He's talking about
No
students
way.
posted up. Yep, he says, "Blood is on your hands." Biden was one of the lines in the song.
Wow. What
So
again? In support of pro-Palestine?
Yeah.
Yes, this is a
How
pro-Palestine
well,
song.
How well is this song charting? Like, is it? I mean, how well is it doing?
I don't know. I'll look that up.
Is it a release or is it like a video you put out? Or
It looks like it's only like 2 minutes.
It looks like just
40 some
something he
seconds
popped
long.
on X.
Yeah.
popped on X? That's such a crazy.
I don't know though. This seems like he put
Cool,
a
I
lot
understand,
of.
yeah.
It seems like he put a lot of effort into this. I wouldn't be surprised if this
But by
isn't
today's,
charting right
what I'm
now.
saying is how long it is by today's standards. Most songs are
I have
longer
that-
than
minute
3
30.
minutes.
Well,
You know.
not lately. Lately,
Really?
it's shorter and shorter so they can get more stream views. Because the shorter the video is, or the song is, the more times you can listen to it before you get
That's
like
true.
satiated.
250. At least this
250
Twitter
is pretty
video he
long.
posted.
It's pretty long.
He said all the proceeds are going to UNRWA, which I
Might as
believe
well
is
just
the
light the money on
pro-Palestinian.
fire.
So here's the thing. So you were talking about all the companies kind of doing that. With this whole situation, is that exactly what they're doing with Macklemore?
Macklemore's like, I've got the top hip hop charts pulled up here, at least from Apple Music.
Are
and
they?
he's nowhere to be found.
Are they the?
Macklemore's just trying to ride it. He's trying to get it right. His ride.
Is this
in. He's just trying to
Macklemore?
get
Or
it.
is this somebody being the puppet master? Like
This
pulling
is
This
strings?
sounds like a
Macklemore-
Macklemore thing to do.
This sounds like a Macklemore thing to do.
Yeah.
He would do that for sure. He's just trying to get like social credit.
This
points,
is the
you know?
dude that released Thrift Shop.
I mean, that's true.
That song went hard. Like,
that's a
keep
good
it Canadian,
point. Of
keep
course.
it in the thrift store, Macklemore.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
But
like that
Macklemore never
song.
started going out and
'Cause that
rapping
song-
about the streets.
the
too.
same reason-
Like-
the same
That's true.
reason
He
Lil
rapped
Dicky
about what he knew.
He
was
stayed in his
popular.
lane.
yeah, yeah,
He rapped about what he
At
knew.
the thrift shop.
The same reason
At the thrift
Lil
shop.
Dicky was popular is the same reason that song got popular. It's funny. It kind of goes hard for a funny subject, right? It's the same reason Lil Dicky got as popular as he did. But like Lil Dicky's not out here. Like when he tried to make that like Earth Day video, it flopped. Lil Dicky, all right? So you know when you start to get preachy, you lose your base.
Yeah.
When you get overtly political in music, you tend to lose a lot of people. Even though you tend to what happens is you polarize. You are hoping that you will gain more followers altogether with what you release, but what you end up doing is the people that don't like you politically leave, and the people that do support you kind of tangentially will then become your. So you don't get real fans, and it takes your music elsewhere from what you're originally trying to make. In my opinion, that's why I don't
The Art
do political
Garfunkel
music.
effect.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Just one dude who does nothing but rides the wave.
And then gets famous because of being related. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like when in YouTube Shorts, like if everyone uses the same sound for like you can use the same sound to make like a short, you know what I mean? Like put on TikTok to use the
remixes,
same remix sound or what Stitch It or whatever like that. Like I don't know, like yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's sharing, it becomes viral and stuff like that. But like
Yeah, I get it. I will say that
that's what Macklemore's doing. Like, what does it really contribute? I don't know. I don't really know what it contributes to anything. He's just trying to get into it. Like to answer your question, Chris, I think he's just there to make money.
He sees
It's all about
opportunity.
money, dude.
Yeah.
It's all about money. I guess my conspiracy theory mind goes to, well, who's propping him up? Like who's pulling the strings?
I wonder
and
can you look at
who's pushing him towards this?
Yeah, can you
know
look at
what
his
I mean?
label? Is his label Universal? Is he? I don't know if he's a UMG artist or not.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was the same label?
he is.
If it was the same overlord for every one of them?
It probably is.
It probably is.
Like the same five.
That's what I'm saying about Universal
own
is.
everything.
Yeah,
So,
Universal and Sony.
His label is the ADA, funny enough, but it's the Alternative
The
Distribution
ADA.
Alliance. Yeah.
Okay, so is that under any,
Macklemore LLC.
What's the holding company for that? Does it say so?
I thought he was independent.
He might be. ADA sounds like it's an independent thing. It's not his like
Warner?
PRO. It's just
Warner.
Warner Music
so he's a
Group.
Warner.
So it's Warner Brothers.
So it's Warner.
okay.
So then he's kind of getting involved. They're definitely trying to make money because
that's
Universal's
exactly what it
having
is.
its own little thing, its own little beef. Warner is just kind of making music. It's a different studio group.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think he might actually feel this way, and he's offering
probably
his
does.
political stance.
He probably does.
But it's also he sees like,
But there's somebody at the top.
There's such a problem going on right now. I'm gonna like have my opinion out there in the world while the other big rappers are dealing with they're being selfish. They're
probably
only
had
beefing
this
with
track.
each other. That's probably how he feels.
Either that or the record labels just started called him up one day and just started flicking a bunch of money in the microphone. He's like, how much was that?
It could be that too, but it could be the sentiment could be shared by the label. Like, hey, the biggest rappers on the planet right now are beefing. They're being high schoolers right now with this beef.
Oh yeah, they
right?
see dollar signs.
There's
everywhere.
an
Well, you gotta
opening.
say something. I mean, I could hear his agent or somebody saying, "Hey,
Right.
look, man, you gotta say something."
That's what I'm saying.
You
He
don't,
probably
you know?
already had the track.
You don't ever have to say
The
something.
beat
You
was
don't. You
made.
don't.
Yeah, but in their
the track
minds,
was
in their
probably
minds,
already
because they
produced.
think they're so relevant to the rest of us,
Right.
Peasants
Right.
that we are.
Right, but like
But
that's
the
what they-
trauma
that's what they
economy.
think.
You have to have an opinion on it.
Right, so that's
Exactly.
what I think happened. Knowing music, he had a track in the works. He had a track that he was already doing that he had written stuff out for already, and then they just said to him, if they did say to him, they said, "Hey, you got to add this little thing. You got to add this little take. You have to add this stuff into the whatever."
you gotta
And he may have done
retool-
it because
you gotta
it may
retool
not have
this
been
to fit
him.
our narrative.
It could have been like 5 or 6
You know?
writers that wrote something into that, and one of those writers was approached and asked that. It just takes one dude out of like 5 or 6, depending on what the track is like. But having worked in the industry, that's probably what happened. It was already on the rails. And by the time like this came out and this whole beef started, they were like, "Great, let's contribute it and make the
probably had a
record
different set
more
of lyrics.
attractive." Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
It was probably Thrift Shop too.
Because Heinz Hall was last weekend,
Thrift shop
right?
too.
Or this past
Didn't like Thrift
the
Shop
song
one.
came out in the last couple of days.
Yeah, no, but when was Heinz Hall the incident? That was the last one. That's what I think happened.
That was last week. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
last
it
week.
culminated like last Thursday or
Right,
Friday.
and so he was already working that track, and then this beef happens, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to keep it relevant, and I'm going to add stuff into the track." And that happens all the time,
This
and that's
is,
what I think is going on.
I just don't think it was his idea though. Like that's
It
my point.
probably was.
It was.
Probably was.
I think this is really funny
I think
though.
it was.
That
Why wouldn't he be pro-Palestine? He definitely
I'm not saying
would be
he would.
pro-Palestine.
I'm not saying he wouldn't
He
be,
is.
but I'm saying like the Warner probably. I mean,
I think
No,
it's-
but
I think it's
I'm just saying,
hilarious.
like, they would
They've
have
got this,
added in the. They would have made. They may have told him to add that little thing to attack as well and to add part of this beef. But
Yeah.
I don't think from the top down. It would have been his idea to make the song.
They've
It's
got
definitely his
this
idea to make.
drone
Yeah, for
footage
sure,
in the
for
music
sure.
video he released, and it's they misspelled Palestine.
It's so funny.
Palestine, yeah.
Palestine, yeah.
Palestine.
So those are Ivy.
It looks
League,
like they tried to
those are
correct it,
Ivy
too.
League kids. Everybody.
They're like, oh shit, we look stupid.
Well, he
do.
put it in his video, so now millions of people are gonna see it. You know.
Well, don't be that nice. a couple we're gonna see it for sure, but millions, maybe.
All right, let's get some
15.1
let's
million
get some
people.
super chats, guys.
Yeah, true.
Super chats.
So where do we leave off? This thing. I understand Tim's frustration because the thing jumps on.
Yeah, it happens every night. It's really annoying, man.
Olivia Claire. There we go. That's where we left off. Day 2 of Mocha the cat holding Brett hostage. She's feeling benevolent for her birthday today and considering negotiations. She's making him watch Velma on repeat for torture. Updates to follow tomorrow. No hate watching. This is why they're getting a season 3.
Yeah.
This
Wait,
is
there
why
was a
they-
season 2?
Don't
There's
hate
a
watch,
season
guys.
2.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a season 2.
Velma's now.
I thought it tanked, dude.
Velma's
No,
now a
because you hate
ghost.
watching.
Like canonically in the show,
Hell.
she's
Spoiler
no
alert.
more. I don't care. She's no more, and now there's going to be a season 3, but she's not alive. So the show's main character is going to be a ghost.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh's right. Dude.
Yeah, Raggy, someone killed the franchise.
We didn't need a new take on Scooby-Doo.
No.
There's nothing wrong with Scooby-Doo.
The woke take. Yeah, no. We definitely didn't need that. I thought that was dead years ago.
Scooby-Doo?
No, not Scooby-Doo. Velma. I thought it was done.
No, I think
I
somehow
can't believe
takes,
it got a second season, let alone a third.
No, I think it came out 2 years ago. A year ago, this past, they just had their season 2, and then
Yeah.
almost instantly they renewed for season 3.
What's funny is I distinctly remember reading an article that it had such low ratings that it was a terrible mistake
Yeah,
that
but
they made this show.
Low
and that,
ratings don't matter when there's enough eyeballs on screen.
It's all about
I
views,
get it,
man.
but-
That's what I'm talking about. It's all about the views.
But
you know, when you go
HBO's
woke, you go broke is what the article was.
But
I mean,
HBO's already made their money up front because they're a subscription service, so they're not charging for ads or whatever.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
collected it up front for people who don't even watch the show, like me.
So I think there's a lot of shows now that are getting renewals, and they're absolute drivel, right? They're absolute trash. But the reason is because what you just said is it's upfront money. So if this was 25 years ago,
it's also
fellas,
pipeline too. It's going to be like that way for like Kellen mentioned this yesterday. It's going to be that way for a while, 2 or 3 years. Stuff that's in the pipeline that's been in development is all going to get released now because they're sitting on it. They're sitting stuff in their chamber,
Well,
literally.
but not always though.
The rounds are coming up.
Netflix canceled a bunch of things that were
Yeah,
in
they
the
did.
pipeline
They did.
that were already
that
done, and they
upsets
just
me so
canceled.
much.
Right. They
But
did
I'm
that.
saying like if
It's
this had
good.
been
Yeah.
Could've been a lot of
cable
crap.
networks, that show would have been
well,
done
that's my point.
right off the bat.
That's what I was going to say is that like it seems like they're using like still the same cable ratings that they've been like the
are.
Nielsen
They're trying to
metrics.
pivot it.
Yeah.
And like you can't really apply that to like
No.
if you're applying people who just like turned on the channel at the time that we released or something. Well, your channel's an app with thousands of episodes on it. Like
Exactly.
what are your ratings actually? What's the watch time on it? How long
What are the
were
metrics?
people
Yeah, what's the metric on
Yeah,
that?
like
Exactly.
there's so many more data points now that need to be taken into it. It's not just like, oh, this electrical impulse got sent to this device from this device, and now we're here.
Well, the thing is I don't think
economy. We need not attention. We need attention and value. That's not.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think we'll ever know
not
because
good.
those streaming platforms, they keep that as like a closely guarded secret.
Well, yeah, it's their entire business.
Is what their
Well,
what their
Netflix has,
metric is that they measure by.
And this is what upsets me. Netflix has an algorithm that tells them whether to renew shows or not. So it's like how many people watch a new show within a certain time frame, and if it doesn't meet a certain number, they cancel the show. It does not matter how beautiful the show is, how good the characters are, how well written it is. None of that matters, and I think that's stupid because
well, they take the human element
if there's
completely out of
If
it.
there's a show I want to watch, right, and they put the whole season on all at once, I'm gonna watch it on the weekend. I don't care if it comes out on a Tuesday. Like I'm gonna want to binge it, right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna do it when
exactly.
I've got free time. And this is an argument from other directors that they say,
Yep.
you release weekly. This like bulk like dump of episodes, like a whole season at a time. Yeah, it's good for binging, but it's terrible for metrics. It's terrible to really see how your show's doing. If the show stays consistently high week after week because people like the show and they keep tuning in, you know if it's good or not. And I agree with that. As annoying like Shogun did that. It was a phenomenal show that was just released on FX and Hulu, and they released weekly, and it stayed high throughout its whole thing. So they know it was
Because
a good
there's
show.
anticipation.
It got
Exactly.
good reviews.
Like,
you know,
the numbers stayed high.
I think Fallout would have been way better received if it was weekly because they kind of just
Dude,
dropped.
I binged that in like 2 days.
I binged it the night
liked
it
it.
dropped, and I liked it, but like I think it was just when you can get everything up front, it's like, well, you see everything that's like bad with it up front. Like you're not, and it's also not giving you time to like remediate the information that you've just taken in. Like
Totally.
you're not gonna.
Well, and I think you'll lose out too because you'll lose out. Like they'll lose out on their viewership because people will forget. Because if somebody binges something. And let's say they binged it in January and then it doesn't come out because of production times. It doesn't come out for another year.
You forget.
Well, I forgot about that show. And, then it might come out and you might get triggered and be like, oh.
And now shows are taking 2 years, 3
they're
years
taking
in between
years.
seasons.
So I just watched, so I'm a nerd and I love Star Trek. And I just looked at, hadn't watched Star Trek Discovery because it's kind of woke. But I ran out of Star Trek, so I was watching it.
Sure.
And I'm looking at the seasons and 2021 and then 2022, but it was at the end of 2022, and now 2024. I'm like, good Lord, that took 2 years for them to make that show.
Well, it's also part of the problem. Like at the beginning, they got all of this like stupid money at the beginning when they like Netflix first dropped and like Hulu first dropped, things like that. Like people were, it was like the start of the end of cable, so everyone was dropping it to go for those places, and then they got a little. Like gung-ho spending the money.
Well, they saturated is what they did.
And now that they're actual tech companies where they don't make, like tech companies do not make profits. They lose money all the time. And that's the business model of a tech company. So when you have a service like that also like your business is kind of contradictory to itself. Like on the one hand,
You sell ads.
your
You're really an
business,
ad company.
your business thrives on like people not tuning in, but like your subscriber retention and like your churn rate on that. But at the other end, you're also dumping all like more money than you have into production value for shows that nobody's going to watch.
Right.
And turning it into movies like Star Trek Discovery, like for all the shit people give it about like the plot, the SFX in that are incredible. Like these shows are like, they blow like, some of the most graphically intensive movies out of the water of all time. Like,
so their producer is Alex Kurtzman, and I just watched an interview with him yesterday that said that he shoots it like you would shoot a film. Well, there's a lot to that, and people don't realize that TV shows and film are shot very differently from one another, and now they're not. Now it's moved very, very close, and so the production time is going to be up. But that that using an algorithm, going through all of that, and then using an algorithm on whether or not you're going to
make it
renew
too
or not.
black and white.
But at the
that's
same
crazy.
time, when you have this massive empire and you have a choice between, okay, we have 6 shows that, are like international translations of like anime that we made live or whatever dumb shit they're doing these days. And you're also losing like $20 million a month in your like company. Like as a business, that's an easy decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me get some more super chats in because we're running out of time.
One quick thing here on that as well, just because it's worth it. But the you know what time is it right now? Yeah, I guess
4:46.
We'll come.
Yeah, that's right.
Come
I don't
put a pin
want
in it. I'm going to get a couple more super chats and we'll quickly go over this last story. Shane H. Wilder says the Pop-Tart comedy was slightly above mid. Well, I trust your judgment on it. I might have to watch it now.
Like
I do like Jerry
Pop-Tarts.
Seinfeld. He's like a very like non-confrontational kind of comedy, like old Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
Like you don't have
comedy.
to think about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What's the deal?
What's the deal?
Produce,
Brewmaster Monk says the boomers' dads had PTSD from World War II. This is going back on what you were saying with the generational stuff. Had PTSD from World War II. Their moms were addicted to drugs and mass media, made them self-absorbed consumers. They are us without internet.
Perfect.
Us without internet.
I always think
I like it. Didn't I say everything comes full circle? I actually
it's just a different Instagram filter, right? Same problem.
I agree with that
filter.
with that guy. That's right.
We'll get one more in here. Animal says normalizing not being able to walk up the stairs. The president walks like a model now. Ah, yes. The Met Gala, they were doing the Biden.
They were doing the Biden.
They were doing the Biden.
It's in vogue.
It's the new shuffle craze.
Yeah, because Kim
that was more
Kardashian
Trump.
had her organs being displaced and couldn't breathe, so she's doing the Biden. They said, just walk like
Nice.
our
I like to
president,
dance.
Kim.
Kim Kardashian's good at having organs displaced.
She said, Mr. President, how do I walk? Oh, I'll show you. Seamus, I wish Seamus, he does the best Biden. All right, so this is the last article or kind of topic that we have today. Have you guys ever used any dating apps?
Yes.
No.
Bumble.
I've been married too long.
I've been on them. They came out when I was in high school. It was like the new thing. I remember, I think it started with Hot or Not. and then Tinder, Bumble, and now there's like 8 million of them. Well, there's a new one that we can all try. All right, and this Mary kind of sent this to us, and it's called Duolicious. So
What?
this is a wild story.
That's funny.
Kellen was showing
Is this
me
downloadable now? What is this? Is it
Yeah,
like-
you should try it. You should download it too while I introduce the story.
All right, I'll
All right. So
my phone?
Duolicious is a new dating app. It's this guy
First, I'm gonna hear what
tweets
it
and he
is.
says, "I feel like
Hear the
this is
pitch.
very relevant to finding my future partner." So what this is they use, I think it's ChatGPT, and they use your answers and they compare your compatibility to other users. So you can see if you're like a 97% match, 96%
sorting hat.
match. Now that might have been the goal and the intention of the app, but it's just become a kind of cesspool of incels.
Yes, I love the internet. Internet always wins.
So here's one of the questions, right? If you've got an extra spicy hot take, you can also answer privately. Just uncheck answer publicly. We'll keep your answer hidden. So it gives you these prompts, right? So you answer the prompts, and it uses that data to match you.
So it's like a chat room.
So here's
if,
the
if
question.
You don't?
Here's one of the questions. So you do this as you create your account and you answer these questions. Do you fold your toilet paper before wiping? You just ball it up, or do you fold it neatly? Right, I'm not asking you guys to
Yes.
answer that, but that's one of the questions. So you
Fun
answer
fact,
questions
yes.
like
I don't
this.
think I've ever paid attention.
You don't fold it over?
Now,
Well, I don't know. I'm in there to
I
do
make indoor
a
origami, actually.
Now, these are the
Before I
type
use
of
it.
profiles
awesome.
that come up. They're calling it femcells, incels, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you don't know what that is, that means someone who's involuntary celibate, right? They don't got game.
Volcel.
They don't got game.
Involuntarily.
So, part of the clubs for this girl is 4chan. And then she has memes instead of profile pictures. The
Nice.
meme says, "I would do anything for you." The girl says, "Stop smoking fentanyl."
And then she shows her.
And then the guy kicks the girl off the cliff.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, here's another one. Girl, oh, you can't see her face, but she's got an anime sweater and a cigarette. Okay.
Oh, you
she
know
says,
she-
"Anyone up for some drugs?"
Anyone up for some drugs?
Yeah, yeah. There's some of these posts I could not pull up just because of how inappropriate.
Some of them were wild.
Yeah, but these are some of the accounts. You could say it's a 50-50 split between girls with dyed hair or anime pictures. Oh well, this person just has an emoji over her
they're
face.
Just
It's like
what's the word? It tilts young more than old. What is
I
it?
guess it appears that way, but this could also just be whoever posted this. So this could be his matches.
Oh right, yeah.
So he
exactly.
tilts young.
Right, exactly.
Right.
He
It
tilts,
it could be a totally normal dating site, but the
Right,
dude's
and-
just
yeah.
a whack dude.
Yeah, yeah. Well, these are multiple posts across the board, right? This is kind of compiled. Here's some more accounts. We've got Svetlana.
How long
right?
has this been a thing?
I'm only learning about it today.
Yeah.
I've only heard about it today too.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
I'm
We have another
ancient. I'm
post.
31 though.
This guy
so.
Wolfhelm says, "I just joined that femcell dating app, and I probably created the most 304 scaring account in existence, and not like normal scaring where it tracks the femcells. I'm talking about scaring where it turns off all females.
Wow.
So this guy sounds like he's having fun with it.
Yeah,
This guy
The
sounds
algorithm. The algorithm's not
Like
working.
he's ish posting.
I applaud this guy. That's good.
Here's
stuff.
some of the clubs you can join. I'm not going to read that first one,
Ooh,
but you can
yeah.
join.
Whoa.
You can join the loser club. You can join the professional Roblox player club or the Valorant club. Wow. Streets are saying that Duolicious is the most
All of
hooked
the-
thing.
Wow.
And I
Coach,
guarantee
bro,
you,
wow.
all of those clubs are equal cesspools. Like
Yeah,
they're
no,
all
I
the
guarantee.
worst places to be.
Yeah,
Dude.
literally.
So do they
Dude.
do they
Pro
do they
Roblox?
put their algorithm
Wow.
within those clubs,
And so
or is
so
is that done at the beginning?
based on your answers of these generic prompts, based on the clubs that you choose, the algorithm, which is like AI, is
Yeah.
going to match you with other people that you're supposed to be compatible with.
Well, they're calling it.
It's a cool
assortative
idea,
mating.
but it did not work.
That's what it says. Scientists call it assortative mating. And-
Assortative.
Assortative, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
I like authoritative mating.
Not authoritative.
I know, but
No, that was
Maybe
that,
it is
that was that
assortative.
first
You're right.
club we saw
Okay.
that you couldn't read.
But it
we're
says-
gonna, we're gonna let robots decide who
It said-
we're gonna
it
mate
says-
with. That's messed up, man.
It says
I tell
traits
you,
like
son.
height, where there's typically a big difference between each partner in a relationship. There's still a correlation between both partners' heights. So, like, they're literally putting science into this, and then it comes out with that.
It only has 1,000 downloads on the Play Store, but there's
Oh, so it's trash.
not enough, guys.
all
We gotta
the-
get those numbers up.
all the reviews were in the past like 3 weeks. There's one.
How old is this thing?
It can't be more than a couple months old.
No.
There's-
yeah.
This one guy
That's interesting.
says there are interesting women in this site, and I use that term loosely. And 9 people found that 5-star review helpful.
So this is interesting in a cringe way.
Yeah.
Here's some more profile pictures. We've got Maddie, 19, with this. I don't know what these like. I'm not into anime or this like 4chan world. I know Pepe the Frog. I don't know this other stuff. Like, so if this is supposed to be like something that is common or like a red flag,
how old is she?
it's going over
How
my
old is she
head.
supposed to be?
These are all teenagers. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
they're
Looks like a
adults, but
teenager.
they're all 18, 19.
It looks like current year.
I don't know what I'm
stuff.
looking at, but Maddie, she's 58%, looks like some kind of like demon anime girl. You've got someone that looks like they are depressed and then tried to do a self-portrait. You've got Pepe, which I'd be interested.
Somebody has a mental disorder.
Sonya, I like Pepe's cool. I'd like, you know, she's got
could be.
she's
Who
got
knows?
burritos, chips, and Coke at the bottom in that drawing.
Gamer.
And then you've got Sophia with another anime drawing. So, you know, maybe there's something there, but
I don't think I've seen one real face.
no. Well, that's
no,
just the
that's
thing.
It's like
It's like maybe
Anime
this is for
It's like you're just all catfishing
This
yourselves.
is,
like,
and you know, I wish Martha was here because she would have a lot more insight into like this world and that's not a roast. What I'm trying to say is like as a guy, we're already dumb when it comes to dating, right? We're already guys are notoriously dumb. They don't pick up on the little things.
As an old married guy, I'm definitely dumb on dating.
Right.
No clue.
But like you've heard the tropes before. It's like, oh, do you not notice my new hairstyle? And it's like, it looks the same. And then the girl lists off 10 different things she did to her hair. Right. So that's like there's
and
that's
they're
just not
all
paying-
inconsequential.
Hey, wait a minute now. That's just not paying attention. Like, guys, you got to pay attention.
yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Girls notice little things that guys are.
Pick your battles.
Happy wife, happy life.
Sure.
Okay, and
Sure.
and I always try to make her happy. So
So
You gotta pay
I
attention.
wish Mary was here because maybe she could like explain to why this app is so problematic. Because she was sending me all these messages. She's like, "Oh my god, now this is a story." And I'm like, I believe it because I don't know what I'm looking at. And usually with the internet, I kind of know what I'm looking
it's a
at.
story we have no idea what to say about.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
it's
looks
confusing.
like it's a new thing for kids. There's a bunch of more like.
I just
dating
don't
apps
get
and
it.
stuff
Like,
that
what
that
is the
exist that
point?
people don't talk about.
Here's another one. So okay, so it's not just kids. We got Kimberly, 42, and it's like female Pepe that looks almost like Lola Bunny. We've got Gabby. She's a life ruiner.
Nice.
Eve, 28, it's a picture of a rabbit.
Wow.
And then Sarah, which is just a picture of a life ruiner.
It's Life Ruiner Chan. That's not. It's a
Life Ruiner
No, you know what that is?
That's like a. It's like a. It's meant to be like a character, like a Chan. Like there's like there do Chans and everything. Like it's like a. There's WEF Chan. There's like it's like a image of a Chan that you create, like a character of something. You know, so that's what that's meant to be. Like
People are saying it's based OK Cupid.
yeah.
Based OK Cupid.
That's kind of funny, man.
Someone said the feds must have gone through a lot of effort finding women to match my profile. I almost think it's just like a thing, like it's a pick me app. I'm not
Dude.
like those other
That's what it looks like to me.
edgy
That's what it looks like to me.
internet
It's
users.
worse.
I'm edgy
It's worse
teenager
than farmersonly.com.
Farmer, hey,
Hey,
have you seen the new show that they're doing? Farmer Wants a Wife.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, they find like a bunch of city girls, and then they find some farmer bachelors, and then he has to like pick the
I
right
gotta go
girl.
be a fucking farmer now.
Dude, we're in the right place, man.
It's the sequel. Andrew Wants a Wife.
Dude,
Yeah. Where's that show? Like, who cares about that dude?
Do you want to farm? Become a beet farmer like Dwight Schrute?
that was really popular in Idaho because there's a lot of
I'll,
beef farmers out there doing that.
My inner Russian can come out. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I
That's
don't
interesting.
think this is the end of this story. I'm sure we're going to
Oh, no, it's
revisit this at some point after I get I need to research this a little bit more. I need to put on my my glasses and
Go
really
on a couple
see,
dates.
Really see, yeah.
It's a weird John, dude.
It is a weird job.
That's a weird thing.
What a
The whole-
time to be
The
alive.
whole concept is just like it's just wonky.
I get it. Like
You
I
know
get
what I
it.
mean?
Like you say, they said when they
I see what they're
started
trying to do.
selling the APIs, if that's the correct term for these, the AI chatbots and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So when they started selling this, like I get the thought behind this app. Like,
yeah, you have similar responses, therefore you'd be similar. kind of person.
right? And we're not like you're using the algorithm and the AI to train it, and you can hopefully
To see
be a true
similarities.
matchmaker. You know,
Right.
like in the
I see
80s
that.
and 90s, they had matchmakers that were
Services,
very lucrative
right.
services.
Yeah.
So have the
I
AI
think
do it.
AI would be the only good matchmaker because it's looking at objective
It's
qualities.
objective. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, this crashed and
But
burned.
it-
So
It also, an AI is only as good as the data that you put into it. So if you put a bunch of incel 4chaners on
Right,
there,
of course,
it's only going
exactly.
to recommend you incel
only give you
4chaners.
It's gonna crash and burn.
These are femcells,
Like,
all right, bro.
I had a Donald Trump chat bot, and like I wasn't surprised when it started talking about collusion. Like,
There you go. Yeah. True.
all right,
Fake news.
let's get the
Fake
last of
news.
these super chats, and then we'll do some outros. Anne says normalizing. Oh, we got that one. Corey Anderson, get your ass in the cuck chair. Great value, Brett. That's me.
Great value.
What did they call you yesterday? Great value what?
I don't know. I forget.
You were great value something yesterday.
I'm really good at like letting information go through this year and then out the other one now.
Yeah,
so.
if I don't have to think about this Incel app for the rest of the day, I'll be okay with it.
I'll remind you. I'll remind you later. I promise.
Corey Anderson says, Serge, do you normally have a round face?
Damn.
What?
Round face.
That's messed up.
I think he's calling you fat.
Oh, I don't care.
Fat joke?
What
I
does
don't
that
think
mean?
that's do people
What does
that's
that
not a
mean?
fat joke.
Do I normally have a
It's
round
face shape.
I
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
Your face shape. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if there was a dig there. That's I
don't-
read
I
it
don't care.
verbatim. So
Yeah, I
The
don't
real
care.
dig is that he's never looked at Serge's face enough to know what his face looks like.
It's good.
dude, but you see
Good.
the problem is they can't see the they can't see the angle that I see, and they see that like that jawline,
These
that
cameras,
Chad jawline.
these same Canons we use.
Yeah,
it's
these
like,
are the
Chet,
same
you
cameras that we
betcha.
use in the IRL studio. They always kind of give you a weird perspective on your face because it's based on the depth of field that the camera is capturing. So that's probably why it looks different.
Yeah.
My face isn't totally round. If you're calling me a pan face, that's offensive.
Is that your best West Virginia accent?
Pat
No,
the
it's not
plumber
offensive.
says,
Everyone thinks like, oh, why are you trying to make fun of it? It's like, no, like I'm not. I'm making fun of an idiot.
Well, it's
that
because
talks like this.
it's West Virginia. They don't got anything else out here. So,
anyone
you know.
that I've heard sound like that are actually usually
That's
like
not
the
nice.
nicest people I've met.
Yeah,
You're right.
definitely.
It's not nice,
It's a
it's
joke.
true.
It's meant to be. It's meant to sound ridiculous and a joke. And that's the whole point. It's a joke.
Pat the
It's
plumber
LOL.
says, "Whoa, boys galore."
Yeah, boys,
yeah.
boys.
The girls tried to come on the show. We said no.
I was an all-girls show on IRL.
We kept them in the kitchen
Yeah,
this
yeah.
episode.
It's Tim and the girls on the show.
I was gonna say something about that, but then I got lazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Corey Anderson says maybe the label wants out of paying Drake.
That
Yeah.
could be
that's
it.
the other. That's the
'Cause
that's
he's
the flip side
that
of
could
it,
be
right?
They make money on the
Controlled
estate.
demolition.
Because
They
he's
can
making-
get Drake out of it. Drake doesn't make any splits anymore. The splits probably defer to them. Who
Great value.
knows?
Bob
Who
Ross
knows?
was the thing yesterday.
Oh yeah, Bob Ross is dope, dude.
Yeah,
he's a legend. man.
compliment.
just gonna
Before he was Bob Ross,
Dude,
he
you
was
got
like he was
Pretty
a,
little bush over here.
He was a what? He was like a those guys that train.
He was a
Marines.
drill sergeant.
Drill
Yeah.
sergeant. That's
Really?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he
He's
talked
dope.
just as soft when
he was in
like,
Air
That's
Force.
why.
No,
he,
no.
No,
That's
that's
why
why
he's
he
talking
did it
soft.
because
complete 180?
he
We're gonna
wanted
put a
to
happy
because he
little
didn't like
cloud over
yelling
here.
at people.
Yeah, he was tired of doing it.
Elizabeth
After
Biddy
service.
says, "Did you guys see or hear the Macklemore video?" Yes, I brought that up. Pro-Palestine and saying he won't be voting Biden. Great show, by the way, guys. Holding it down. Thank you.
Thanks. Keep doing
Thank
that.
you.
Keep
Appreciate it.
being pro-Palestine and not voting for Biden. Thank you. We appreciate you.
The manic mustache
Definitely the not voting for Biden.
says
part.
late
That's
as
great.
always. And a pro.
late?
I don't know what this. What is a pro or a propos? I don't know what that
Apropos?
is. He said it yesterday. Apropos. Yeah.
Apropos? Yeah.
To doing the right thing. In life, you need a no bro. If you're lucky, that will be your wife. Pick one cowboy boots or shorts, not both. That voice of reason in your life. Can you attest to that?
Absolutely.
Is she your no bro? Does she say, Chris, that's not a good idea?
Absolutely. Dude, what did I tell you? You're like, hey, you want to be on the show? And I'm like, I got to check with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I always check with
She's
my
like,
wife.
She's like just
It's not
watching
a,
like
it's not a
on edge.
requirement. It's not a requirement. I have the best wife in the world.
Dude, there was
it's not a
tape-
requirement.
We talked
She,
about it
you know,
on this show about when the wife jack memes were popular, and it's like I need to check with the wife first. And like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're so weak." If
It's
you have to check."
respect.
It's respect.
No, it's respect, and
It's
that's what I
respect.
mean. Is
It's
it
'cause you
she doesn't
value
require
her
anything.
opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't require
And it's like
anything
certain
but love.
things. Like you're not.
you know?
If you want to get Wendy's, you probably aren't checking with her. But if you want to go on a boys fishing trip, you're probably checking.
I'm
with her.
definitely
Like,
not
it depends.
checking with about Wendy's and or Taco Bell. Love
Right.
Taco Bell. But I don't check because it's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want?
But
for
like when
dinner?
you're
I don't know.
building a
What do you want for dinner?
household, it's usually a wife and a husband, like you building the household. Well, if you drastically change what you're doing, it's going to impact the other people. So it's not like
Yeah.
people are like, oh, you're just being a weak man. You should do whatever you want. I'm like, dude, that's such a low brain take.
So many.
that's a
low IQ
frat
takes
boy
there.
take.
That's definitely somebody
frat-
that's
frat
never
boy
been
takes-
married and never
yeah.
shared in a relationship with somebody.
That's
so.
someone who never grew up.
Yeah, yeah. The frat boy takes
exactly,
are really
damn right.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Last super chat we have here is from Gordon Shumway. He says, so AI, a bunch of cheap labor from India, is going to play matchmaker for incels and femcels. I would be happier if Skynet was taking over. Shaking my damn head.
Kind
Hey man, let them.
That's what it is,
if
man.
they
Give
wanna
it
have
whatever
fun,
name you want. It is. It's happening.
It's freedom, man. That's the problem with liberty, and like let them do it, man. It's not. It ain't your. You don't have to play their game. Let them play. Point at them. Laugh. It's fun.
Yeah, you do have free will. No one's
You have free will. No,
forcing
ain't
you.
nobody forcing you.
Yeah.
You can just play and laugh, but make fun of it.
Yeah, and then you can cry about it later when you're 70 and have no one.
You're
Well,
70
don't
and
tell
have
that.
no
Don't
one.
tell that to Sonia.
Who's
right?
Sonia?
One of those duo-licious
Oh, I
girls.
will if you bring her here.
I'm not doing that. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today. This one was a little bit off the rails, but that's what's going to happen when you got 4 guys in a studio with a bunch of stuffed animals. All right, it's gonna get a little bit weird.
Well, that's what happens
But-
when Margot and Brian fucking.
Margot and Brian. Just every time with a different name. Please like, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, do all that YouTube jazz that we always ask you. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Serge, is there anything you want to shout out?
No, unfortunately, I still can't shout out music. We have something coming out on Groove Inc. in the future. GrooveInc.bandcamp.com. Yes, I'm still on Bandcamp. Don't be angry at me. I already had stuff there before the incident with Tim. If you like me, follow me at surge.com. I go by botnet and stuff on whatever. It's fine. Argue with me on the internet. I like it. Cheers.
Nice, Andrew.
Yeah, it's just easier if you look in the description for my X handle. I'm not spelling my last name.
That's _minxed for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris, thanks for joining us. First time on the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. So I'm Chris. I work for Timcast. My only social that I'm putting out there is Instagram. It is private, but you can request. And it's hi_Chris. And shout out to my friend Joey because he's a huge fan.
Shout out Joey. And was there anything else that you wanted to shout out? I think you mentioned is that Joey?
Oh yeah, and so my son loves Street Speed 717, who it's his favorite YouTuber, and he gives away trucks and
that's cool.
He does all sorts of stuff with cars. So Mike's a pretty cool guy. He's up in Pennsylvania.
And it's Street Speed. That's the
Street
sticker
Speed 717
on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yep.
Right on. You guys can follow me at Kellen PDL. This was episode 606. Tomorrow we'll be back for 607. See, quick maths right there.
Quick
we didn't get to the Disney topic today, but we'll touch base on that tomorrow because it is interesting. We'll hash that one out. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.